What is up, guys? All right, here we got. This is what we got going on today. We got the majors of the CDL. We have the majors. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the majors, and then at least day one, and then later on this afternoon we'll do day two. That'll be live. So then we'll watch that, and then tomorrow we'll watch day three. Everybody ready? All righty.
Again, we're still kind of focused in.
Top 6, we are in for a year.
That's going to be on the agenda today.
Two in the back. Oh my God! It's so fucking so Chris.
So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do the
250
CDL
to
majors.
124. Atlanta laying the hammer down on
Let's see if we
Carolina
can't-
in the
see
grand
if we can
final, and it
find out.
couldn't come at a better time.
Hope y'all like
the
the design
minor
up there.
champions
Finally got
were
the
10th seed coming into our tournament after the minor. We're going to see our standings for the season shaking up a bit, Allie.
Just a little bit for the season, but again, we're still kind
I'm
of
gonna go get
focused
something
in
to
on
drink,
Major
let
One.
y'all
But
have
if you're an
y'all-
Atlanta
let
Phase
y'all do
fan,
y'all,
this is
and I'll
looking
be
huge
right
moving
We're
forward.
going to be revisiting some of the big moments from the minor, and of course, looking forward to our qualifier. Nameless, though, what do you earn over the weekend?
Yeah, there's parity in the league right now. I don't even know who to put at the top of the list. These teams going game fives left and right. It's been truly awesome to see.
If you've been following the league, you know only the top 8 make it to champs every year. Here is who is in the top 8 as of right now. These are season standings. Carolina, Ultra, and Thieves, all with one blemish. On the right side of your screen, though, there is a lot of work to put in for teams like LAG, Vancouver Surge, still sitting at 1-4 as well.
Unbelievable amounts of work. I mean, even Atlanta Phase, who just won the minor, is still sitting at 5th. That just tells you how top heavy this league can be.
The good news, though, is for all those teams with one loss, when it comes to the Major 1 standings, you're flawless. You got Carolina, Thieves, and Ultra all putting their perfect records on the line this weekend. Who do you expect to move up or down on this list, Rosalie?
Honestly, I know the easy answer is Phase, but I'm hoping to see a better showing out of New York Cloud9 as well.
As we continue on with the season, we'll be checking in with our official rankings. And after just 1 week, I gave you 2, the official challenge. Give me the tier list for all of our teams. Here's what you had to say. And I was reviewing this with production. You did pretty good. You had Atlanta in A. They finished first, of course. You had Carolina finish in the top 4. Toronto, LA Thieves, all kind of having a rough minor, but looking good so far through our standings.
Yeah, looking good through the overall season on the side of LA Thieves, Toronto Ultra. But if you want to use this for minor 1, this tier list does not translate.
Let's take a look at the team that finished on top of the minor. It's Atlanta Phase, and despite a 10th seed entering the tournament, we knew they were a top squad. They won EWC. A very slow start, but with Hacienda in the mix, this team looks like a whole new beast.
Yeah, all forgiven in my eyes. I mean, you had a slow start. Obviously, there's
All right,
a
now
huge
remember,
break
this is
where
the
you get to learn
majors,
game.
not the minors.
Some teams weren't even scrimming that much. LA Thieves, but Atlanta Phase, they take advantage of that break, and it starts. Things start off slow versus Miami. You lose that first map by like 137 points, and then Simp has a 1v4. It just
And then later
it was
on
like a
tonight,
spark
I
to the
probably
rest of
will
the
be
roster.
streaming
BZ looks like
a
the
little
BZ
bit
of
of a
old.
gameplay.
They are started performing, and the teamwork was there. And we saw them have a convincing victory against Carolina in the final phase.
Like I said, this is day 1. This was yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday.
Turn our eyes not just on Simp, but also the ARs. How did Celium
And
play
we will
compared to his
do day
qualifier
2,
matches?
which will be
Much
today.
better. I know,
And
obviously,
we'll
the
do that
expectation
at-
is really high for Celium. We literally have something called the Celium Index.
starts
So
at
he sets the
1:30, I think,
standard
so
a lot of the time when it comes
we'll
to
be
the
doing
beginning
that
of
at
the season.
1:30.
A slower start than what we're used to, but from
We'll
what
be
we saw in the
sitting pretty
minor, hopefully to see a turnaround in here.
Hope you enjoy
When I
it.
first saw the
And
Carolina
if you do, please
Royal
hit the like
Ravens
button, hit the
roster, I
subscribe
thought
button, hit the
they're
notification
just
bell.
going to get 9.
At least do me
It's
that
basically
favor.
the
If
same
you're on
roster you brought
Twitch,
to the table in the
please
previous
follow
title.
button.
I've been proven
Appreciate it. Show me
wrong.
the
This is
love
our
on the
number
channel.
1 seed right now. We also made it to the grand finals
Yeah.
of our minor
Let's
after
get into
beating
it, man.
Optic.
Yeah, you know, I agree with that sentiment, Chris. Like, at first when I saw this roster, I'm like, oh, you got some vets and, you know, some guys, a ragtag group of players that other teams didn't really want. Well, they had a chip on their shoulder, and it's translating well to this game. I mean, you're talking about all 3 game modes that they look great in. They make it to a final where ultimately they lose to Atlanta FaZe, but they played these guys before. They 3-0'd them in a league match, so it's not like they feel like they cannot beat them. And they left some out on the table. Vivid did not have the best performance across Search and Destroy throughout this tournament. That's not what we expect.
I love the
He's a
new
great Search and
skins
Destroy player who can get up
and the
find enemy
camos.
lines
I
and
have
make big plays. So I think they'll even
3,
improve
4
upon
of
that
them.
and remain on top.
4 of them.
Allie, as good
So I'm
as
gonna
we
try to collect
saw
all of
this
them.
team
I think they're pretty
performing,
cool. I
two
think they're good on.
superstars
I
we
think
wanna
this
dial
season
in
they're
on.
pretty
Gwyn
good.
and Slasher, 2 different roles, are both above a 1.1.
I mean, they've just been unreal. And on the flip side of it, not only has Gwyn been incredibly consistent, but like Slasher had a couple of slow starts in some of those series, but by game 5, he was literally in takeover mode. I referenced back to maybe the Optic match watching the semifinal. I think Carolina Royal Ravens are literally unreal right now.
Carolina living up to the hype, and so is Minnesota. They are in the running for most airtime here at the CDL alongside
they're doing
Marvin
really good.
and, Maven.
But
And of course,
y'all know
we
that's
got to
been my
talk a little
team.
bit about this roster, the struggles in game 1 and 2. What's happening,
Y'all
Maven,
know
was
that's
because
been
they
my
had to go back-to-back reverse sweeps on their way to a top 4 finish.
Yeah, you know, it's hard to make sense of it, right? Because they have a lot of very close hardpoint losses. It's the end of these maps for them where it's just getting away from them. You know, this Minnesota Rocket team, though, I really love. I think the best aspect of this team is their ice, their ability to rally back in a series, to get a reverse sweep, to close out a game 5. And they've relied on Search and Destroy as their bread and butter. But secondary to that, it's also been the control, one of the best control teams that we have in the world. And a lot of their series wins start with that first control win. So for Minnesota, clean up that hard point, and you'll be beating teams 3-0, 3-1 by how your games 2 and 3 look.
They have been icy in game 5s. They're in the middle of the pack if you're looking for their overall score. Finishing top 4 was a bit of a surprise in the minors. The question is, how high can they finish at Major 1? After seeing our minor, I want you all to weigh in on our new tier list, and I can see you made some changes to the S tier. What's going on up there?
It's just kind of like anybody can be anybody in A right now. I do kind of lean the Carolina Royal Ravens maybe closer to S just because of consistency speaking, but like anybody could be anybody in that tier.
Yeah, you know, I love the no S tier teams. I think that, you know, if we were to put one, it'd be obviously Atlanta or Carolina, but all those teams can beat everybody, and LA Thieves, we still have them up there just because it's only one match and they didn't practice that much. I still know that they can win. If we go to a major tomorrow, LA Thieves can win without question.
Can we take a look at this one more time, this tier list production? Because I saw the fact that you have LAG in the D tier. These are world champions from just 2 years ago, Ant.
Listen, I was on the fence that they should be in the F tier with Vegas. Allie convinced me otherwise because they don't have a match win. You don't have a match win. I don't care about these map things, bro. I was a competitor. If you don't got a match win, you are ass. So that's why for me,
you are ass.
Vegas just haven't won a lot of maps.
Well, you have Cloud9 over them, and LAG is playing Cloud9 today. We're going to see who belongs in that D tier potentially.
Wow.
Who deserves to move up to the C tier. That first matchup is going to be a good one. And of course, we're also going to see Ultra in Minnesota, a rematch from the minor that went to a game 5. But Ultra fans, not a match they're going to want to remember, Allie. They started up 2-0 before falling apart.
Of course they don't want to remember this. I mean, you think about this control, right? You go back to game number 3, just forget the first 2. You're up 2-0, you slam them in the S&D. You were in a position to close this out in 3 if you're Toronto Ultra. Obviously, it's hard to put it on one player and put it on their back. But then you go into the game number 4, and you show no signs of life. This is a map that you should know time and time again. It's been around for years now. So for Toronto Ultra, it is just upsetting.
Yeah, I mean,
is it just Hacienda, though? Because I can't help
Laymus, calm down, bud.
Your
ass.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they just need more reps on Hacienda, right? The hard point wasn't close.
Oh my God.
Was not close. Minnesota obviously looked good there, but to Allie's point, yeah, I mean, we moved them down, right? Obviously a tier 2, but like if they just use their streak at the end of the control, we might be talking about this team in a completely different light.
Yeah.
Like you have a missile that comes down from the sky to close out the
Your
game.
ass.
I don't even think Insight knew he had the streak. They call that in. This is a 3-0, and then they move on to phase, and who knows what happens in that match. So for them, they're still looking good.
If
Get him, Neil.
going to continue to challenge for a spot in the top 4,
Nero.
they're going to need more performances from their subs. We saw some fantastic moments from Estriel, but Nero's the guy I want to talk about. Is he becoming a consistent factor for this squad? He always seemed to be an X factor on previous lineups.
It depends what your description of consistent is, because they're consistently icy and they're consistently having these moments where they're able to put the momentum in their favor and then run with it for the rest of the series. But there are many times where they have extremely slow
But y'all know
starts.
whose team
We're going
I'm
to see
at, so,
three
hey.
rematches from the minor. Another one is Optic versus Vegas, Nameless, and you had Vegas in the F tier. They almost beat Optic, though, in a game one. This team was up 100 points in the hard point.
Yeah, I mean, they had a
They
super
were.
hot start, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously this is a new roster as well for this Vegas team. So I think the two new guys coming in, they were a bit nervous to start things off. But Xnid, I mean, the guy dropped 52.
Unreal.
World record. Right, remember, when you're
Yeah,
in the game,
52
it's EKA.
kills.
So he had like 80 of them things when they were pulling up the scoreboard.
52
so he felt like he was
kills.
super prime, and which he was.
That's
for them, though, I
insane,
think,
man.
It's like the smallest things, like the super fundamentals, and they'll be able to close out some of these hard points, right? Like they're playing too aggressive. We talked about in the Drawn Conclusions clip, like he flipped the spawns and just didn't help his team. So for them, it's all about the bottom review.
No, I completely agree with you. I think it's just kind of like the closing out of these series. It's the little mistakes, it's the little hiccups, and also their map pool doesn't seem to be very large right now. Again, we see Protocol S&D. They showed some life in it. They were looking like they were going to win this map a couple of times, but for Vegas Falcons, I feel like that's all I've seen from them is Protocol S&D, Protocol Hardpoint. So I need to see a little bit more expansion from the side of Falcons.
Will we see Vault Control? It was not pretty previously when they matched up last week. We'll see
No, it
if
was
they
bad.
get a better bout today. That matchup coming up at 4:30. But we begin with your 3 o'clock showdown of LAG and Cloud9. Don't go anywhere. This is the CDL.
We are going to stop this a little bit early, just so we can get into day 2. That way we don't miss nothing on day 2. Like, I understand this is day 1, so you'll get the gist of who won all the matches from today. And then what we'll do is we'll go into when it gets closer, we'll fast forward through all the games and we'll get ready for day 2, which will be today, and we will be live. So this stream will end, and then I will start a new one right away. So please don't go nowhere. The watch party is back, baby.
Someone in chat said LAG isn't getting a win until they change their intro. I don't think that's true. I think today could be the day as Kismet and crew face off against Cloud9. This should be a fun matchup. Alleycat, LAG, though, the surprise of the season. World champions from 2 years ago, 3/4 of this lineup. You're only missing Hydra, but you subbed in basically the second coming of Hydra. Lynn's also from France.
I love that you said that because it literally is the second coming of Hydra, and they're still not able to make ends meet. I mean, they don't have a game mode they're necessarily strong with. You can say they're fleetingly stronger in control, but even that, I mean, they're positive by maybe 1 win. So a lot of work to be done for this LAG squad, considering the talent they have.
Now, I know there's some new management probably, but LAG historically brings
right,
world champions. Arsenis benches him at the start of the season, and we go on to see a new one.
Wait,
Are any of these 4 players in danger?
Clouds on.
Yeah, I think potentially, although maybe Priesta, obviously the last couple years haven't been great to him, but I want to go back to the Hydra statement you guys talking about. Hydra must have been Thanos, because these guys have been getting cooked without him. I think it's really the dynamic, honestly, between Kismet and Linz that hasn't been working. So many search and destroys where Kismet's trying to do too much, just dying by himself. Like, their chemistry has just not been there. It hasn't translated to search success at all, which is their worst mode.
The Gentlemates representing Los Angeles and most of France. On the other side of this one, it's all New York for Cloud9. Accuracy, the coach of this squad. You see Mac coming back in after a year off, dealing with some family matters. Well, Mac is the superstar now on this team. The bad news is you're kind of top 6-ish, top 8. Where do you have the squad?
They had a really, really slow start, but I do like to give some grace to Cloud9 just because of the teams they've had to go up against. This
Okay.
squad, 2 times they've gone to Game 5 versus Carolina. So I feel like they're a strong team. They just haven't been able to put it all together at once. We saw Matt carrying them through series. Sib is still rocking up 0.7 and hard points. So I feel like it's just a matter of time when it comes to Cloud9.
Yeah, Tally's point, they lost like all of our top 4 teams in Carolina twice,
Yeah.
right? So they have had a pretty tough schedule. For these guys, though, it's the control, 1-5. Like, you have to be better at that game mode. And Sib has had a really slow start to the year. And even in their performance where they went to the Game 5, like, they won both HPs, Sib wasn't really slaying. And the HPs were super close. So, in my opinion, he still has to pick it up.
Cloud9 took down Vancouver. That was their minor one. First round looked pretty good in that. They need to find that form once again. Let's take a look at our maps and modes for New York. Skyline with a Hacienda control. Do you like the new maps in the mix here?
I love this map set for New York. I mean,
Yeah,
Skyline's their
wow.
best hard point. They're 1-5 on vault control, so I love them giving a try to the Hacienda. Yeah, I mean, if you're in New York, you probably feel pretty good.
What about LAG?
Loving this if you're New York. If you're LAG, you're kind of testing the waters here. They're 2-2 on that opening Skyline, 0-1 on map number 2. And Hasi, they're also kind of just testing it. They're 4-5 in vault. Control is the only game mode Gentlemates is even slightly decent at, and they don't even have a map they're comfortable on in the series. So either they have been holding this off in scrims and are excited to put it into this lineup, or they are literally just testing the waters.
It's time for our Scuff Pick'ems, and as you all know, Nameless has been the Oracle in 2025. He saw Minnesota coming throughout the minor. Who do you see starting off our qualifier strong?
Yeah, I think this is an awesome match, Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 teams that we really don't know where to put them. In this one, I'm going to go with New York, though. They've shown me more. I think they get it done.
Allie?
Last year, if you have asked me this, I would have said LAG with this roster, but I'm going to go with New York Subliners. They did really good in vetoes as well.
Bulldog, it's time to bark, my guy. We're going LAG today. I have a feeling the upset is coming. Merc, how wrong am I?
Pretty wrong. I think so, at least. I could be wrong, I guess, but that's a tough one. Tough to say. It's a tough sell. It just is. Cloud9 looks like they're trending one way, and LAG it's a question mark.
It is, and they were talking about who's at risk on this team, and I asked you kind of before we came on camera. I was like, I don't know, you've been a player for a long time. You've had a lot of teams. Like, they're 0-and whatever at this point. They haven't got their first win yet. How long is the leash for this squad? Like, do you give them through the major, or like, is this a must-win type series?
I just think you kind of have to. Like, what are you going to do? Bring someone else in, and you have a week and a half to prepare for a major?
So is that, but is that your only argument? Like, oh, it'd be harder to bring somebody in, or is there still belief in this team even with where they're at?
I mean, I think you still have to give them a little bit more time.
Okay.
But I just also think a change right now doesn't benefit anyone.
It's just like a lose-lose if you try to make a change.
Yeah, unless you, I mean, we have seen in the past a couple of changes before the major, like screw it, why not? Nothing else is working. We've seen that before. But me personally, I think you have to at least see this team on land.
Okay. I just want to see what happens like if they get this. If they get one win, like some momentum, like did they just need like that one win, then suddenly things start to click a little bit more for them? Because I gotta think every loss, bro, it wears on you more and more, right? It has to.
Yeah, and I mean we've kind of been seeing that, right, from some of the POVs, some of the decisions where it just feels like they're putting pressure on themselves.
100%.
Yeah, you heard the desk kind of talk about it. Starting off with Skyline, a bit interesting here. I mean, these are 2 maps now where Cloud9, they have not lost on Skyline. Hardpoint and Search and Destroy, and you're giving them both of those.
Yeah, I know. As soon as it popped up like the best 5, you were like, all right, like kind of nodding your head, like looks pretty good for Cloud9 New York. We'll see what they can do, though. You heard Ant kind of hoping Sid maybe steps up a bit. We know what a slang monster he can be when he's in rhythm. I find myself just kind of pulling for Gorilla's mate to like find some improvements because I don't know, just a lot of likable players on that team, and they're like the underdog. They haven't won a map yet. The whole French scene's behind them. Like I want to see them start to find success, but this is a winnable series. They got to get something going.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, just start off early. A nice start here for Priesta. And we always know, like, as good as your Skyline could be if you are Cloud9 New York, how close this map normally is. Just every single time. It feels like it comes down to a 20 to 30 point game just due to the nature of the map. But LAG, they do a very good job flipping the map, rotating towards that P2. They have all of Cloud9 spawning out.
Sky's currently on 3 straight. We'll see if he can keep that moving and grooving throughout this opening hold. Here comes the first push from Piano side. They're able to shut down 2. Only thing that hits really is Sib's nades able to combo, and then all 4 are going to get wiped out. So LAG in a pretty good position to soak up this time. They spawn him out pretty deep, and you're going to get a comfortable 15 or so seconds here, which sometimes is rare on Skyline.
Yeah, I mean, normally like a P2 like this, usually there's instant pressure. You're finally going to get that from Kremp. Someone's going to pick that up. That's going to be Liz. At least you get the call out. You're hoping for the trade, though, right there from Gigme. He jumps out of the hill, and the one play from Kremp, well, it might just change this P2 hill. There's only 15 seconds left. Pre-said there's just so many angles to check, but this is normally what we see, right?
Yes,
just
time to
constant
rotate.
pressure on the hill. Hitting the zip line, Gigme trying to fight on back, but you get around 30 or 40 seconds if you are LAG, and you'll take that all day.
Yeah, it's like even if like a 4 dead is as influential as it can be on some other maps, it's still a big deal on any map. Like that gave you a solid like 15, gave you a little breathing room. I think it's just so trade heavy there usually. Like it's not usually that clean where you get 4, you only lose 1 player to a nade. And they turn into some pretty good time. They're doubling up their opponents right now. LAG in pretty good position, approaching double digits already is Priesta. He's finding some success, but currently in the hard point, Cloud9 New York, seeing what they can do with this objective.
They're just trying to buy time. And you see LAG, they're playing a little bit safe. They want spawns, or maybe just waiting for Gigme to spawn out. He's going to have a free split. It looks like Sib, he thought about turning there for a second, but he does get caught, though. So Gigme off that pinch, he's going to find 2, but it all comes down to one last player. And, well, they deal with all 4. Attached now on 5 in a row. He's up to 11, leading the lobby in Cloud9.
I never would have left that
close
trophy.
to a lead change right
Yeah,
here.
it's just one of those hard points, right? Anytime it's like
be ready
central,
for it.
when it's like horizontal, essentially, like you've got to have eyes in the back of your head. Like the flip could come at literally any moment. They deal with it pretty well, and now basically a tie game, and Cloud9 New York able to hold those spawns, able to get set up now for next, and we'll see what kind of damage they can put in here inside of the hard point. Number 8 and Sib trying to get some shots in on one side of the map. He loses his teammate Mac on the other, so he's going to have to shift focus here. The focus shifts to bullets coming into his face from Priesta. Priesta making a push. Gorilla's making a push. They're in and they've got numbers.
Yeah, now you get the spawns as well. You just push them out. So a huge break there for LAG. The momentum would start to shift.
Like, he
for
knows
Cloud9
where
New
he's
York,
at.
but
He just can't do
now
nothing.
Cloud9 behind Mac. Trying to fight on through. This is the tough part about P4 as well. It's just it's such a big hard point. There's so many corners to check. You have the bathtub. You hop on the counter. You go in the shower. There's just so much to clear. And LAG stayed patient. You see they find 7 in a row.
You know, they were talking on the desk about Cloud9. You know, they've had a lot of tough losses, played a lot of tough teams. You've got some like superstar firepower and stuff. It's great to see Matt back. Am I a crazy person that when I look at this, like I still think LAG has more potential to be like a better team? Do you think I'm crazy?
I mean, I think you're crazy. It's
Like,
not
I think
like,
that's a normal take before the year started. Is it weird that I still feel that way?
I think so.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know
based on what we've seen, I think so.
You're right. I am crazy. Maybe it's just one of those things where I've seen that trio click. I'm like, it's a matter of time. You know, kind of like with like FaZe's struggles at the beginning of the year. Okay, they're very different. Don't get me wrong,
it's
but
very
like,
different.
but FaZe's struggles at the beginning of the year, you just kind of like knew it would click. Like, I guess I kind of feel like with that, like eventually it's gonna click. But
I think the biggest question mark maybe for New York was sort of like Kremp and Mac.
Yeah.
Kremp's been pretty consistent, and Mac's been incredible, right? With the year off, it's just sort of a question of like, what are we gonna get out of this? I feel like your most consistent pieces are like attaching Sib. Right? If Kremp and Mac are playing like this, I think the potential's there.
I think I felt like I was delusional. That's why I asked. But like, but I don't know why I feel that way. I was kind of trying to talk through it. I'm like, why do I still feel like they're going to be a good team? Maybe I'm just holding on to a lost hope. But
yeah, because rarely do we see a Skies at 4 and 15 like in the past. But he has a map like this right now, and now Cloud9. They have the lead, but LAG are here again fighting in this P2, and they're able to get him out.
yeah, I'd say like this is one where like you're thankful you're within 20 when he's 5 and 16, but it's also like a skyline, so it is really hard to find a big gap, a big amount of separation. You know, you're up 100, you're absolutely just going doo-doo on the opposition. But guys, we'll see if he can get into it. You know, your 5 and 15 call. We'll see where he looks towards the end of the game. On the other side of it, they got Priesta popping off. He started out strong, was like the first to approach double digits. Now at 18 and 11, and there's the lead change. And that's been what, 2 pretty solid P2s, right?
Yeah, it has. It's been great here for LAG. Is LAG right now just trying to fight back over control of this second hill. Let's go to listening with Gentlemates.
Yeah, behind us. One's behind us.
Tiles, I think. Tiles.
That was a rookie move. What the fuck was he doing just standing there?
Nice. One more, Jim. Give him time. Flip.
One smoke. Tree.
Behind you.
I
hear you behind. No,
got her.
He's top right.
I got her, by the way.
I'm getting you. Rugs, one shot dead. I have all your rugs.
Only cast open. I set him on her. Dead any on her. Go, you get in her. One more.
You and Jim.
I'm gonna take cat.
20 seconds.
Ready? Go top mid.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit right. I'll lay hit right.
Every top cat show.
I'm waiting for you guys and I'm gonna hit right.
Yeah. Nothing bad.
He jumped outside, dead. One.
Back chair. One step to the back. He did on the chair.
I'm north. One flash.
20 tiles.
Yeah, we should run through.
Out of P3. We're going cat. How much I left?
Go have you get.
I can't help left. One shot dead. I got time. One shot.
Nice. I help.
I'm shifting. Back in.
I roll up. One left. Dead. Nice.
Are y'all taking notes like I am?
Solid listening. A big break there as they get in. Priestess still going off. Big P, 4 straight, 26 and 16. I love the comms I was hearing from him as well.
Well, what we talk about with Priest in his career, just how good he is at running an AR, running a sub. He's done both roles on multiple teams, been successful with it. He's been a great flex, and with the Jackal changes, I mean, we're seeing it more and more, just how good this submachine gun is. And he is very much willing to pull out a third one, 27 and 16, leading the way. And what a hold right there at P4.
Yeah, the Jackal
His
is one
highs
of the
are very
best
high. I've always thought,
SMGs
I
right
just
now.
like speculate it's like a confidence thing with him, because like when he is in form,
Even I
he
think
is
so.
terrifying. It's just when he drops off a cliff that it could also be a problem. Right now, though, performing absolutely as he's on 27, leading the lobby. Just behind will be Mac and kind of attached to the other side of it. But now you're starting to push this lead up a little bit. You're up 30. Depending on how much time you get here, you get up 50 to 60. That's really scary territory if you're Cloud9 New York. It puts a lot of pressure on you to make a lot of plays.
Yeah, what's been their best part has been like the P2s for LAG, just how consistently they've been able to win that rotation. And this is a hill where you can find 10 to 15 seconds on, really put the pressure on Cloud9 New York, have to, sprint at you at time and time again. But maybe here's the moment for Cloud9. 15 seconds left. They're going to eat all this up and try to flip this spawn.
Yeah, like there's eventually been a break on these P2s, but like the opening 30 seconds or so have been clean.
And there we go.
That's a big wipe with like 5 seconds remaining in the harbor. Look how far you're spawning out, because you still had skies like mid-map. You spawn out in Narnia now. How much time do you have here? It's just going to be kind of comfort food inside of the point. You still have skies kind of playing for angles out toward mid. So he's picking them, staggering. This is looking really good for LAG. A chance to put this one away.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you have to watch the zip line, right? We've seen Kremp in that scenario. While he wins the gunfight, we saw him through X-Ray, and this is where it gets messy. Somehow gets a double. It's a perfect setup. Skies is cutting down middle of the map. Someone has to watch Zip, or at least you have to win the gunfight. And now Cloud9 maybe buy themselves a chance, but okay.
What are we talking about?
Skies is 7 in a row.
What do we talk about? What was Skies? 5 and 15.
Yeah.
When he turning around, because they were only down 20 at that point. He's now basically back to even on a 7 spree. The talent has come. Priestess Delphine, he's at 30 plus, and you just need 10 more for the victory. And with all their narrow
Ooh,
you just want to put this one away.
What a turn.
8 streak for Skies. Enough time remaining in the hard point. Only one player close in number 6. Mac a chance to make the play. Not going to happen. Skies closes it out. Priest.
Yeah, you got to watch that zip, man, because that zip is bad.
First in the map 1.
Yeah, well, there you go. Again, just those P2 rotations. I mean, they had a couple of big plays. They broke the first P4. The second P4 is a lot cleaner for LAG. But fundamentally, yeah, that's what we kind of expect from this roster. But the slaying alongside of it, you get Priest who really gets going, and then Skies at the end of that game.
I guess the reason that I felt the way I have, like, been a little
that resume
thing about LAG is like just, I know, at least like Scott, I know Kismet can be all over the place statistically. I know Priest can be the same way. Liz is pretty much put up numbers. Guys can put up numbers. I just thought like you have enough like depth slang wise to do it. It's just like the fundamentals. And like that, it just feels to me they've just been like an inch away from winning some series. Like so close. Like just little mistakes, little blunders. if they can fix that, I know it's hard to do. I don't know. Like, I just feel like they're so close to being so much better than they are, man.
Well, I think the problem is like, this is, you know, a team where I think you would expect it's tough to beat them. They should be good in every mode. The problem really is when you look at an outside perspective is they're 2-6 in Search and Destroy.
Yeah.
This is just not a roster who can afford to do that because of kind of the inconsistencies we know you're going to get from these players in Respawn at times. So the Search has to be better, and it just hasn't been. But, well, you did a great game one here.
And is that one of those things, though, when you think about modes where you probably had the most ability to improve early on in a title, like Search?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of swings. And I mean, we're talking about a much different Search and Destroy game this game, right? Like very similar to a Jetpack-esque where there's just not a lot of like kind of freedom on the map.
Well, kind of hit shit and do retakes?
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the times when you're going from title to title, you have to switch up your mentality when it comes to a game mode, and maybe that's what it takes for these guys.
And listen, we'll keep bringing up Hydra just because he is that good of a player, and I'm sure Search and Destroy, a lot of we've talked about how they set up for him. They set up for him to make plays. You kind of like were a little frustrated with Kismet the last series we casted him. We talked about just being too much pressure on him. Maybe he feels like he has to make the engagement, he has to do something, and sometimes trying to like overcompensate maybe for that playmaking ability that they're lacking once they lost Hydra. If he gets a little bit more comfortable, him and Lynn start to figure out kind of their new duo, maybe it could be something really special. But if it's going to start to be special, it's got to start soon because you still haven't won a series.
Yeah, and then on the other side for Cloud9, first Skyline you drop on the year. Again, just lost some early rotations. You know, you see that second P4, that's where it was a tie game, and well, then they break, able to get up 198, and they hang on to it. But early P2 rotations were the key.
The desk was mostly favoring Cloud9. You kind of felt good about Cloud9, especially after seeing the maps. Does that flip on its head after that map 1?
No, I don't think so, because there's still a lot of question marks in this series. First time we're going to see Hacienda control. Again, Skyline Search and Destroy has been great for Cloud9 New York. They're undefeated on it. And then the back half of the series, I mean, it really hasn't been great for either side. So we'll see how it goes. Again, there's not a ton of strong maps for LAG right now.
No, there aren't. And they've been in the driver's seat in some series. They've been up 1-0. They've been up 2-0 before. They still haven't been able to close it out. So as much as, hey, solid map 1 victory, big props to, well, really Priesta, who kind of set the tone from out the gate, and Skies, who turned it around massively. Obviously, he got going. But it's just a map 1 win now. Yes, the Search, the biggest question mark. So, like, listen, you competed for goddamn decade or whatever it was.
Yeah.
When you had a Search team that was maybe struggling early in a title, I don't know, it's tough to get like scrims with Search and Destroy. Like, how did you work on it?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just like, you just have to be willing to try out different things. Honestly, you're studying other gameplays, films. Like, for me, a lot of time it's just mindset from title to title. Like, if you were very successful in one title and then the next one comes out and you still kind of have that same mindset, it may just take time for you to adjust that.
Well, I think that's probably the thing that separates Call of Duty professionals from a lot of other esports is every year you have to like be a sponge again in a way. Like you have to like reset and just be ready to soak stuff up and learn because things can change so drastically. Like no other esports really is every year gets flipped on its head sometimes. So yeah, just the omni movement in this. There's a lot of things that make it feel a little bit different. The map layout.
Yeah, maps. Big time. But you saw right there, 2-6. On the other side, 4-4. 2-loss streak there for Cloud9 New York in Search and Destroy. So see if they can get another win on the board.
So you think, like, even if you've been struggling in Search and Destroy, it's not about, like, fundamentals and stuff as much as, like, they need to take some risks. They have to try stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to try something different.
Yeah.
Unless they truly just feel like it's like
we need to refine what we have.
Yeah, or if it's just miscommunication.
Yeah.
Maybe there's things they think is open that aren't. Just, rounds where you have the advantage in, and then you just give up a play, and you're like, what the heck just happened?
Well, it also helps when you have a Priest have a map 1 like he did, and he's probably feeling like he can win any gunfighting anytime. It'll probably feel pretty good for you. He gets the first blood for him, and then it's all on Sib. His position now given up as he takes some shots there from Catwalk, just trying to get the angle, and he'll be able to do that. So nice reposition to pick off Skies. Bombed down right over by A, as you can see on the minimap bottom left. Priesta and Linz just trying to hold this down. They've thrown away some rounds in Search too. Like ones you should win, 3v1s, 2v1s, where the comms have obviously been off and they both get caught. You can't let it happen here, and oh, by golly. Oh, sweet child of mine.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally what we just talked about. It's sort of this, what the hell just happened in that round? Like, whoa.
There's been a lot of them. There have. Like, okay, I don't have the data in front of me of how many like 2v1s and 3v1s they've thrown away, but there have been many.
Yeah, this one's not done yet. I mean, bombs gonna be planted, but already a much scarier round than what they would want.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
all gonna be on Lens now. to stop Sib from pulling off this 1 versus 3.
Is he just going to hit the zip line over and over?
I thought for a second he was. I thought he got spotted. He ultimately does. Linz gets the kill. I think Sib snaps because it ends up being a close gunfight, but Linz bails him out. I still don't know if you feel very good about that round if you're LAG. It probably shouldn't have gone down like that. Like, what would you have maybe changed? Like, when Sky's position was given up and he sort of stuck over Jacuzzi, like, was there something they should have done differently, or should they handle the 2v1 better?
Yeah, probably the 2v1, right? I mean, Priest and Linz right there. I mean, Skies, he kind of gets caught as we take a look at the last 1 versus 1. Linz just plays patient. But in that 2v1...
Oh, so he didn't spot him at first. I wonder why that was as close as it was.
22 HP.
Okay, I thought, like, on the minimap, he spotted him to the left at first. He did not. He almost got the worst timing ever.
But sort of the positioning of Priest and Linz there, yeah, they just couldn't help each other, right? Civ was... He didn't even get shot at.
Granted, you're playing around A where it's like it's 82 angles to get shots on you. But yeah, no, it's something they've got to work on because it has definitely been a pain point. After the, near throw and eventual clutch from Linz, you now get a quick plan in a 4 versus 4. 3 playing around the site, 1 playing deep in Skies that'll kind of watch the push through. Priesta gets another first blood. So back-to-back for him, back-to-back kills as well. Priesta eventually traded out. Linz in trouble too. Nade hits, he's down to 50 HP. Hoping to get some help. Another 1v1, we're down 2, and you just barely get through it again if you're LAG, but got to give some props to Priesta. Another first blood, he gets 2.
Yeah, and
now they're doing just fine.
The flank and just kind of realizes
like I've seen 1v1s come out like that, so they're fine.
He gets active, drops down, and he had to help Linz because there was a dead nade that ends up blowing up near Linz, and he's just trying to lurk, trying to play a position for a free kill. The nade hits, gives up his spot, and he's just, he's dead.
And that's another like 20 HP type gunfight. Like these are coming down to the wire. So far, you're winning them if you were LAG. Maybe finally some things starting to go their way. Can they keep going their way down the search and destroy as we go back to Cloud9 New York on the offensive side of things? Working out right. Not liking what they're seeing. Or are they? First blood finally for Cloud9 New York. Nade gonna hit. Linz will get picked up at Jacuzzi. Sib will follow it up with 1. Mac on his back, getting the bomb planted. And you're in a very dominant 4 versus 2 here. Make it a 4 versus nothing. That one was clean.
Yeah, I mean, just straight team nades right there from Cloud9. Then they work the bomb. They see there's nothing in kitchen, no resistance. Max able to get that plan. They just kind of pick them apart.
Well, it's just like, dude, Jacuzzi is like so great to like catch people, but also like if you don't and you get spotted, like it's just like where do I? Like,
yeah, nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go. Like nowhere to go at all. You're just. We saw Skies kind of how he was pinned the one time. You see Lenz there with the nades able to connect. You don't have a lot of options.
Well, it's such a strong spot because not only do you can see everything. You can see all the crosses, and then it's just not an easy gunfight, but what makes it easy is a couple of grenades.
Yeah. No, the headies are nuts on so many different spots, but just a couple of rounds where you see how difficult it can be once you get spotted. Like, not a ton of options to get out of there. Priesta had back-to-back first bloods. We'll see if he can tack on another here. We're watching his POV as he's kind of been leading the way in that department. Tries to get one. Now it's time to track back and get bombed. Still some utility to use on both sides. I didn't hear a ton of like stuns and nades going off, so a lot of the members here still holding stuff in their back pocket.
Well, there was a stun. It seemed like maybe it was near Zip. So Cloud9 kind of knows that this is open, but Kismet's going to find 1, at least start the domino effect. Linz is going to find the second to give them numbers advantage.
And thankfully he can drop down there. He gets stunned. He might be dead to rights, but he's able to get out. Skies puts another one in, and now it's suddenly on Crimp, 1 versus 3. Sib nearly pulled one off. Will Crimp be able to do it?
No.
I don't think he's seen anything
maybe.
yet. Oh, no.
Yeah. It's
about to say, he got kind of absurd timing on their wrap out. But let's go ahead and get the plan in. Tough part for Crimp, doesn't have like an AR to maybe get that like opening freebie. We'll see if we can get it done with the sub. Under 30 now to work with. Shots coming in. He's like, what's happening?
Yeah, it seems like all 3 arrows. They have an idea that he's here. He's still able to find 1, but there we go. LAG kind of cleared all the angles. Maybe someone spots him. Here's the slide, whatever it is. They knew where he was.
That little stutter step, bro. The shot started. He just like stops. He's like, whoa.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, whoa.
They might have heard him slide or something.
Somebody's boxed up.
The door open.
That looks so funny from his POV.
Yeah, no, I'd be scared as well.
Yeah, it's like, what in the hell? But that time in the 3 versus 1, They handle business.
Yeah, they repositioned together. Like, there was a chance there was a player top catwalk.
I thought he was going to drop down and channel, and I was going to be like, not this again.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
So I'm glad you were thinking the same thing I was. I just saw him on X-ray. I'm like, please, God, just no. Lots of stunts and nades invested early from either side. 12 trophies there, so that'll get eaten up. Kismet drops for free on catwalk. Lenz has been trying to make plays on the other side of the maps through events. He was able to find the timing on offense. Can he do it now on defense? Sky's cutting people down. He gets the angle. Lenz, once again, able to make a play. Just trying to take those routes and catch people off guard. It's so timing dependent. I thought the headshots might be in for Sib. Not able to finish it. New York wiped off the map. It's another round to LAG.
Well, that's just Skies. I don't know where he gets that first pick, but he's able to find that, and that just kind of opens up some angles. They're able to get the second player on the bomb, and then it's a 3 versus 2. They have an idea where the enemy team is. But, yeah, I mean, Skies just opens that up for them.
We'll see if Lenz kind of keeps doing this on both sides, just trying to get through events, get in behind enemy lines. But, yeah, it makes his play easier when Skies gets the first, right? Like,
oh, yeah, no
something's opened. Less pressure on you to make a play. You can take your time more. It's not like, oh, God, I got to hurry. My team's dropping. Just sort of let it develop, and for these last 2 rounds, that has worked out for Gorillas, mate. Up 4-1 now. But where they have struggled, it has been closing maps, closing series. Still work to do, but a nice advantage here. Skies, after the very slow start in the map 1, really has erupted. Pops off in the hard point, now leading the way here at 6-3.
And this is now like their 3rd round in a row on offense, where they've just pretty much haven't left spawn. They're just kind of waiting, seeing if anyone's trying to get aggressive. Kismet trying to just play his life. The info is they are playing very much up towards
what a
A.
trade.
It's a 1-for-1 across the map. Bomb is down, though. Priest going to call in a car.
Yeah, Bomb in a tough spot, too. Just like top catwalk.
Go get it, Kiz. I cleared it for you.
Oh, the car helps to make that a little bit easier. But the blankets now come in. Mac trying to make the play. He is able to get 2. 2 people hit the flank. It's all on Skies. Best of luck. You have to cover the jacuzzi, but that is it. The offense just never really gets going. So much time open. Whether it's been on the other side, it's been enough time for Lenz to make the play. This time, you get the first blood. Kind of same thing.
Well, I mean, when you give up the map the way that they have, Cloud9 just kind of take Kitchen away, and they're just throwing shoulders, and it gives them an idea of where is this play developing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so him and Max and Krem just go. They're like, it's not an A hit. They're working catwalk, and he had some great shots on the Kiz.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably still lose that round, but you'd hope to trade the 1. There's a second player there to back up Max. So that's going to go their way regardless, but you just hope Kiz is able to trade that, maybe give you a chance, but probably wouldn't have mattered. Big play from Mac. Just keeping him in this search and destroy, staying within a couple of rounds. Now offensively, Cloud9 New York. Not liking the opening look over at A. We've seen Lenz kind of take the route through vents and pounce. It's Crimp trying to do it now from the other side. It looks like there's eyes on it for now. Yep, so he'll spot Crimp going up top. Attach will get the first blood, though, and Sky's going to drop. Like, a second he gets a couple shots in towards Crimp, he's going to get caught. So, effectively, you're kind of bait there if you're Crimp.
Oh, that was a great play. I'm wondering how Attach got that kill.
Yeah, but he did that on purpose, so he wanted to see him.
Or just hops on up and takes it. Now you have Bomb down 3 versus 2 as the trades are going. But it's sort of very similar. Cloud9, they find the info just based off the feel of the map. They know they have kitchen control, so what is the play? At least 2 towards B. Let's just use our numbers effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, great bait and switch right there from Tremp and Attach.
I mean, it looked great a second ago. It feels like for LAG, like you had 2 really nice rounds back to back. You're up 3. You're in the driver's seat. But then these have been 2 convincing rounds on offense and defense from Cloud9. And you are right back in this. Attach very vocal right now with the team as they're chatting through stuff. Sib going back and forth a bit. Mac now involved, but Attach had a lot to say there for a second. I'm not sure if it's about I'm assuming the upcoming round, what he wants to do.
Well, the question should be, is LAG going to switch this up? Finally, maybe play a little bit more aggressive, and they are. They're going to go for that A bomb plant right away. And they Car is also down.
They got a quick plan on A, rounds and rounds ago. They ended up coming down to a 1v1, I believe. I think Priest was a difference maker in that round, right? He got the first blood and then got another attach now, gets a kill, but also takes out Mac. So suddenly it's Sib. Sib almost pulled off a 1v3 earlier. Well, not going to happen here. I say if he doesn't see him, Jacuzzi, he is dead to rights, and that's exactly what happens. You needed that one, it feels like, if you're LAG. The wheels were coming off a bit.
Yeah, and they just switched it up pace-wise, right? Playing it slow, clearing the map, worked out early, but Cloud9 starts to adjust, so you looked at a different look here. Just go to A. Maybe you have a trophy, so stuns and nades aren't hitting on the break-off. You're able to put that down, get the A-bomb down, and, well, the team nade also helps a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
But where they found some offensive success, though, it's been those quick plants today. It's not twice they've been able to do it. Yeah, whether it's a Priest, a two-piece, or a attached nade that gets a team kill. They've walked away with a round victory, and, well, this time a little bit easier than coming down to a crazy 1v1. They're a round away now from a 2-0 edge. Cloud9's got to start going wild. Linz was gun up there. Maybe he catches one, but kind of caught in a YY and doesn't get shots on the first hop through. Nade's hitting, though, and he is weak. 22 HP, trying to stay up, able to reposition to bar, and good finesse there out of Linz to staying alive.
Well, they're thinking give this up. So both teams are adjusting. You're getting an underground fight right now. It's a 1-for-1.
Well, it's a good thing you got a buddy with you there. So at least you go 1-for-1, as you said. Mac wants to go ahead and lay this thing down, so we'll be in a 3v3 retake for Gorillas made here now. And they want to go quickly. Sib, though, opening pick. Mac, nice ball. Bang through to kind of back up another player. He's down to 48 HP, but still just using the bar here to stay up. Nade hits, then attach hits. Nice combination there from Cloud9 New York, and they wiped them off the board.
Well, I thought LAG was going to hit a timing, right? It looked like they were getting proactive as soon as Mac was planting that bomb. They had an idea. They were planning towards A. It's just Sib was looking over him. Sib gets that first one. That allows Mac to pretty much get off the bomb clean. As you saw, as soon as Mac gets up, there's multiple players shooting at him, but then they had to stop. They had to pretty much reposition due to Sib finding that kill.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they felt like they were in a good position with a 3v2, and then suddenly that was not the case at all. So big pick there from Sib. Good coverage over his objective guy in Mac. Cloud9 New York just not going out without a fight here in this search and destroy. We now go to round 10. Aggressive here out of LAG, and they might close it out right now. Kiz, weak, but getting back to full. Linz there battling with them. Bodies are getting shot. Attaches the last up at a 1v4. He's got some 1v4s to his name. He sometimes has the ice. Not going to happen here. Priest has got the line of sight. LAG get the search and destroy victory, and they are up 2-0. And I saw smiles and some fist bumps. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen that out of Gorillas because they've been in such a tough position, but solid search and destroy there. What'd you like at LAG?
Well, just, yeah, I mean, switching up the pace, right? Slowed it down. It was working early.
It feels
allowed Cloud9.
They might get a 3-0.
All right, let's just hit some bang out rounds over towards A, and well, those were the ones that worked.
We talk about like strategy a lot and like, I don't know, your breakoffs, but a lot of it's more like it's a tempo thing, right? Like you've got 3 or 4 different gears, whatever you want to call it, and just keeping them guessing what pace is coming at you, right?
Well, especially on Skyline. I mean, you can 4-hit down low, you can 4-hit across catwalk. Like, there's a lot of different looks that you can really show on both sides. But yeah, Cloud9 was starting to figure them out a little bit. So they were like, all right, let's just hit that 4th gear again.
They did, and they get it done. This is how it looks so far. I mean, the beginning of the series is where it looks so good for Cloud9. Now maybe you change your mind a little bit about this one after they take back-to-back Skylines.
I mean, yeah, I think so. You have to be feeling good for LAG, but they've also been a team that's been up 2-0 and allowed some reverse sweeps to happen.
You don't feel comfortable until they actually win a damn series.
Correct.
To the desk.
Minnesota's not here. There will be no reverse sweeps, and I will beat Allie in predictions today. That is if things go as planned and control. LAG with Priest on the SMG, different speed, different success.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. This is amazing for LA Gorilla mates right now. These first 2 maps should have been easily on the side of New York Subliners. You're talking about undefeated on Skyline Hardpoint. You're talking 2-0 at Skyline S&D. And so for LAG mates, this is a huge not only start to the series, but now they get to move into that map number 3 control, where that is where they really only have some sort of strength when it comes to this game. We don't know about the map in Hacienda, but they're in the driver's seat right now for this series. I might have to change my pick.
Yeah, I mean, well, now.
I have to change it.
I mean, look, listen, man. Coming into the series, I think we all we didn't know exactly what we would see from either of these teams going up against each other because they both have the players to be like top 4 rosters, right? LAG obviously haven't had a win yet, so chip on their shoulder, and they're clearly playing with it today. You know, you've seen a lot of people talking about Priesta potentially getting replaced. Well, he goes crazy on that map number 1, and then we go into the search and destroy. Great offensive rounds. I mean, I like the idea to come out and play your offenses a bit slower off the rip, and then transition to the aggression. You heard maybe the Merc talking about it, and it worked out wonderfully. So LAG right now, the issue has been like closing out series. They've had game 5s. Can they close it out though?
I want to kind of get really specific about this search and destroy, because I think what's great from both sides is the problem for New York Subliner is that they are a really good attack. They're a really awful attack team, but really good defense team. On the flip side, Gorilla's mate was also really awful at attack, and so both of them need to put work into it. And now that we come back this weekend, you can obviously see Gorilla's mate put work in it so hard that they were able to capitalize on it in that map number 2 versus New York.
Cloud9, slower start than they wanted. Nameless is going to draw us through this one. What is happening in this series?
Yeah, I'm going to draw why Chris was right in his prediction and to highlight the Bulldog, because when his teammates are finding kills, he's going to be making awesome plays. So let's jump into this clip. Let's just play it a little bit and talk about the situation. Right now, this is the Money Hill. They have control of the spawns, and there's 15 seconds left, right? So they're pretty much going to lock up this time. Number 3, that's Kismet, the Bulldog we all know and love. When you have a good situation, other team's disoriented and fighting from the bad spawn, you want to make that situation even worse for them. So it's rotating. He's hitting a nice route. He's going to go up the stairs, go through. He knows that they're going to be spawning over here by Piano, and what he wants to do is he wants to find a kill on this rotation, not just play his life like you'll see players in ranked doing, playing his life there and just holding. He's trying to find a kill so he can flip his team to get the good spawn, because that is the preferred spawn for this hill where you can then farm. So it's just kind of an awesome rotation out of him and a play. And while they're disoriented, like you can see, number 7, that's attached. He's just on Piano stairs getting ready for the next hill. Kismet goes up, he finds the big kill on him, and as the rest of his teammates are vacating that spawn, you'll see even though Kismet dies, he got the first kill right there, and the rest of the teammates have vacated the spawn. You'll see Cloud9 are going to spawn out there, which is just a terrible situation to be in after you just got smoked on the Money Hill. It also sets up LAG for a nice pinch when we get back over towards that P1. So a heads up play by Kismet. You want to be active on rotations. You want to find that kill and flip them out while there's still time left on the old hill.
Fundamentals starting to fall in line for LAG. The world champs for a reason. It's only a matter of time, and currently they're up 2-0. But this match is not done yet. Allie, let's take a look at our tier list, and do you have anything to say to my guys down there at Gentlemates? You know there's a watch party in France right now.
I know there's a watch party. All I gotta say right now is unless they're looking to make their way out of that D tier.
And what letter would you give them instead?
I would give them right now, I think they're hovering, at their peak, they could be easily an A tier team. But right now, what they're showing us in the present, I think they're looking to move themselves up to like C tier.
Man, they ain't won yet. We've seen this before.
I just said if they win that series,
I'm just saying, to Chris is like slowly victory
I'm
lapping.
celebrating. Let's send it back over to Crashers. Finish this thing. Wrap it up.
Chris is making a mess.
He's just throwing stuff.
You want a pen?
I got a pen. I'm good. Careful.
Wow, about hit Allie in the face. All right, well, we get ready now for our next map, see if they can close it out. Now, we haven't seen Hacienda control yet. You mentioned as we get deeper into the series, we haven't seen a lot of reps out of anybody with regards to 4 and 5. Who the hell knows? I don't know. I thought multiple times LG were winning a series and they didn't. So as much as I want to have belief in them to get it done here, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just put the facts out there, right? In terms of the league, they're 0-4 right now. Still trying to find the first win. So even, LAG and their fans, they're just going to be waiting until this says 3 on their side.
Just Control. I know we're going to Hacienda, but Control, just in general for these two teams, who are you giving the advantage to?
Yeah, I mean, this is where you do have an advantage if you are LAG. This has been the one game mode for Cloud9 where they have struggled. 1 and 5 on the year, just trying to find maybe something. This is why we're seeing a Hacienda for the first time, right? Obviously, a new addition to the map pool. I don't think it's the correct edition quite yet, but we're still trying to find those maps, and yeah, it's why we haven't seen it very often.
Well, yeah, I know. As soon as Ant played it, we were talking about it. He's like, I don't know, I'm playing in ranked. I was getting pissed. It's not working out well. I'm like, well, tell me what's going on. And it was like he broke down why it sucked. I'm like, so it sounds like the offense just needs to spawn a little bit closer, and then it probably work better. He's like, well, yeah. I'm like, so is it the map or just the spawns? And hopefully we'll be able to maybe work on that. But that's what makes it tough, right? It's a really deep spawn for the offense.
Yeah, offense, and then trying to get fences control. It's a hike. It is a hike. And then on the middle point, it's not like the middle hard point. It's moved further towards the defensive side for whatever reason. I don't know.
For funsies, Joe.
I don't know who made that. So on offense, you can't lay behind the fountain and capture the point.
for funsies, Joe.
Yeah.
But as we chat through our additional control added into this season, we take a look at control defense on the season, and this is where New York's got a big advantage.
Well, that's surprising to me. So their offense must stink. If they're 1-5, like
Well,
you're 73 in defensive rounds.
A lot of times, I mean, that's what separates like control teams. I mean, like defense, like anyone can kind of like hold a spot and play good defense. Like offense is the hard one, typically speaking. Like,
yeah,
it is difficult to be good at controlling offense.
But
I mean, it's hard to be
if
like
you're 1-5.
Yeah,
like, you're losing some defensive rounds.
You're right. That is kind of surprising to see. So it puts a lot of pressure, I mean, kind of on their defense to keep that going. That's the only thing.
It was in the middle.
Can
Now
they
it's
actually
not.
do it? Can
He's
they find
right.
any
Now it's more to
improvements
the
in offense? This is
to
where
the
you have
defense
advantage
side.
For LAG, you see him at 3 and 2.
This is a bad map.
The defensive win percentage. Wait, were those flipped then? Those must have been flipped. It must be 7 and 3 for LAG, right?
Okay, it's got to be.
It's got to be for control. If it says defense, if they're third, that must have been flipped.
It's got to be.
Right?
Yeah,
I might
it
be
would
talking out of my ass, but I'm going to assume the graphic before that one was flipped.
Yeah, there's no way they're 12.
Yeah, when you said that, like 1-5 to 7 and 3, is that possible? I mean, it is, but still, it was surprising. We'll try and get clarification. But now into map 3 we go. LAG trying to close this thing out. Cloud9 New York, they'll be the offense. As they're looking for openings, they are finding nothing.
And then you see 3 and 4 right away. Gigme and Lens, they're going to go block off a garage, and you just kind of see where you're spawning all the way out, and it's just going to take some time. This map is prettier than like in Gavutu. It's not raining, and you can see things, but kind of reminds you in that one if you remember that map.
Well, it's like
just a hike.
It's almost like there should be like one layer of fights between you and like the next fight at the site. There's like 2 steps, right? Like,
yeah, it could be.
You got to clear like lobby and garage after you come out of spawn. Then you have to make another clearance around like the entrance to the fence side, and then you have to fight like on the point. Like there's like an extra step there, right?
Yeah.
And then again, the middle point just isn't middle. You can see it.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, very much leaning towards the defensive side.
So, yeah, we'll see who can maybe get something going on offense, or if this is one of those where every single tick matters. And
Yeah, like they've got it like halfway. Like that's
still a bit of time to go. 37
What the
seconds is pause for now because you do have 1 player on the point. It is contested for now. Attach does find 2. That's the clearance of the player on the point, so the time will continue to tick. Attach is still finding kills, so he's opened it up for his teammates to get here. He drops, though. Priest now back in action. Once you get to this spot offensively, the defenses to work with, you can really make some plays. Just like getting here can be tricky. Now you've gotten here. Not a lot of time to work with. Still plenty of lives. That was ludicrous there.
Well, he gets the comms from, I think, Prep that someone's pinching you right there from top window. I didn't think he was going to go for the gunfight. I thought he was going to wait for Prep. He doesn't. And there we go.
Bro.
And, well, B is done. So, again, we're just theorizing based off rain, maybe some scrims. But, yeah, maybe get that B point done.
Once you get to it, once you actually get numbers there, you could absolutely hold it, but it's just getting to that position and hoping you have some time to work with. They get there, they get the cap, you get a insane gunfight, went out of max, Sib filters through with a couple of headshots as well, and now you work to get more done here onto A. LAG trying to continue holding here on defense. Avoid like a 3 or 4 down, which put them in trouble before. You've got 2 dead now. You've got 3 dead. Okay, well, as soon as I say you want to avoid that, everyone drops. There goes the final member, and everyone's coming out of spawn. So, spoke that one into existence. Stack it onto the point is Cloud9 New York. Second bit of progress is done. Third ripping and roaring. Offense maybe hasn't been great, but there's an offensive round victory now.
Oh, well, there you go.
Nice. And, well, I mean, what? It was like... I believe it fences. Attach got like 2 or 3 in a row that kind of got them going. Then it was like the comms to Mac to get the insane kill. Sib got one at the same time. But you had like what 5 to 7 like kind of straight kills. Really nice sequence.
Once they got control of the map, LAG did not retain it at all because they had a couple of really good pushes. Does LAG where you're spawning them all the way out. You then saw them push lobby, spawning them garage. That's kind of what you want because if they're spawning garage, that run to B is even further. Right, that route just takes so long. But they then lost all their gunfights.
It's like regardless of the map, like if you go 3-4 dead as a defense, I don't care what map it is, you're probably in a bad spot. Like,
yeah.
You just see how quickly it can happen one time. And you never regain composure. Like, you never regain map control.
now when this first map come out,
Yeah, well, you got 9 kills
it
in a row
used to
finish
be
off that round.
the center of the map. Like
Okay, 2 just moments they erupted, and that's all it took. The focus going to be towards
Like,
B.
that's
Lens is
insane.
Smoked as Crimp comes out sliding around the edge. You have an advantage for your LEG, at least for now. There's one player in number 7. That'll be Attach playing towards fences. And as they start to progress this onto B, you saw most of the Cloud9 New York players kind of funneled out.
Yeah, it almost felt like they were going to
outside.
give it up for a moment. Like they were 3 went towards top rock.
Yeah.
Like maybe they were just thinking we're not going to retake this. They're going to stack it. Let's just give up B. But now they might go for this one more time. They found a couple of kills.
I thought that was a call. I saw like 2 out by Rock.
But I tell you what, maybe this isn't what we were thinking. B is done, and maybe we're going to start to see this more. If teams start to see a little bit more success on the attacking side, we'll see in the map pool.
No, I mean, first time we're seeing it here officially in a league match, and it's been interesting thus far. Priesta can't win his one gunfight on the other side towards Rock. You'll have 3 players sit up there now. The only person on the other side of the map will be Kremp, who just dropped. So now you'll start to layer the map, look to push here if you're Gorillas, mate. So far, you're holding things down towards mid if you're Cloud9.
Yeah, so just kind of lurking, trying to control top open. On the other side of the map, it's going to be Skies and Lins fighting through Garage. They were able to take down Attach. There's just sort of a fight for mid-map control right now. That is going the way of Cloud9. It's going to be 3 dead, and maybe now we start to see that trap. Kismet, though, was able to find one through Secret. Maybe to just buy them some room, give them some space, but quickly try to buy Sid.
Well, yeah, this is what LEG is never able to do, right? Kind of regain some stability, get map control again. I mean, thankfully, you got B with a lot more efficiency if you're LEG, so you have more time to work with. And we'll see if they can set this up.
Kismet got through again, though.
Yeah, and he got a kill.
Yeah, he was the one. I don't know how he got to that spot. It looked like they had everything sort of cut off. Dave Cloud9 New York, but he's able to find 2 now. Maybe this gets them out of this trap. The problem is, though, you have 30 seconds. Sim hits the dive, hits the slide, somehow able to win the gunfight, and another 3 dead here for Gentlemen.
I was disoriented in that fight. I assume he was as well, but Sim is still going. 5 straight, 14 and 8. And yeah, you get 2 from Kiz. You think that's the opener, and
that was a nice play.
Things kind of fall apart. A lot of info there for Matt because he sees 2, maybe 3 bombs come into his teammates. You have numbers there for LEG, so you're able to win it, but time is dwindling. Under 10 seconds to go. They're down 4 lives. They've got to get a body onto the point. Priesta, no one is holding it. Can't quite take the fight, though, but he at least gets onto the point, pauses the clock. 4.4 remaining. See how long he can stay up here. Loses 2 teammates that might be there in coverage. It's going to be him and Kiz. As he drops, Kiz has got to get in. Not able to win that final fight. There was somebody top cat as well. He was going to be dead to right. So Cloud9, they get the offensive one, and then they hold server on defense.
Yeah, I mean, a nice little recovery there. I mean, they gave up B, and then they just started to get going. You saw them kind of put LAG into the trap a couple of times, just sort of what it can look like from the LAG side. Doesn't look like a good amount of fun. And the fact is Kismet got them out with like that 2 kills. So that could have been even worse for Gentlemates. But yeah, I mean, at least you get B, but now Cloud9 up 2-0.
Here we go again. Another LAG series. We're going to be going deeper. We'll see. Lens
oh no, it's happening.
0 success.
Not a lot.
As he is 4 and 15. 4 and 16 now. And you got to think he's one that's going to be expected to kind of get numbers on this type of team. If he's not getting any in a respawn, it's going to be a bad time, right?
Yes, very much. Yeah. No, I mean, you can't have numbers like this yet. From Lins. And yeah, I mean, it's going to happen to everyone. You're going to have some maps like this, but yeah, if they want to win some respawns, you expect Lins to have to go big. His Attach, he's on a 5 in a row up to 17 and 8. Starting to work B a little bit is Cloud9. Well, he's the only one here. His teammates are on the other side of the map, and maybe they transition over to A.
Yeah, I was saying, whether he's been like a guy on offense or D, I feel like he's just made insane plays here over on defenses. Just like a one-man stand where he's been able to take out 2 to 4 players. Brilliant bit of work from him. Up to 6 straight, 18 and 8. We'll see if they can finish A. You're starting to transition over if you were the LAG defense to clear them off of this. They'll pick off attacks. The streak will end there. The point didn't quite finish. It was so damn close. Now, are you going to be able to clear all of that? We'll see how this next little stretch plays out. You still have Trent pushed into your back line, picking up people off a spawn. Linz's woes continue.
Yeah, now maybe just off this Trent play, it's sort of where do we want to go? And well, Kremp, he's just going to pause the clock. He's just going to sort of say, hey, I'm going to try to cause a distraction. Maybe that'll allow you guys to get out. And well, it has. Attach and Civ are able to find 2. The other two players in Priestess and Linz now have to work this B point. So with Kremps 1v1, you can see the white arrows able to get up the map.
And that A still hasn't been cleared. Right, you still have half of that tick forward. I thought maybe they were
What are
gonna
you
go
doing,
for it,
bud?
bully their way onto it, stack it, maybe close that out if they're able to. But as these gunfights go down, Kiz is hitting beamers at range with the sub in hand. Attach. Well, he's been a warrior over here at Fence's side, but Lynn's able to maybe get something going. He's up to 8, but most kills he's had around, that's for sure. He's doubled it up through this one. And now where it looks so good for Cloud9 New York, like you thought you were going to have A done, you're in a great position. They might not even get a minute extension here. Might just walk away with the 3 ticks.
Yeah, maybe they're just thinking, let's just close this out. On defense, they're going to have to. Maybe there's one last chance to get on towards A. As you said, it is not done. They did not clear it. And so the minute they put 2 players on it, it's done.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Like, I know it's like a mid-point out in the open, but you usually want to try and clear that, especially with how close it was. I was about to say, like, if they don't get another tick, what, you win the next offense if your LAG came out of kills, right? It would have been 9-9. So now you've guaranteed yourself a round 5 defense at least if your Cloud9 don't win this. So
they might win it.
Could not be in a big tick, or they just win it and everything I'm saying doesn't matter at all, which is usually the case.
And I mean, you have 2 players on it. There's a second tick done, all because you don't clear the A point. They have to go for this. Kremto, the last one alive. But yeah, now, what? Just 4 lives remaining here in the round for Cloud9. Still made it something.
Yeah. No, they definitely made it interesting. Just barely diving back in his Sip. He's had a couple insane kills via the dive. And some beamers. Priesta. Forehead gets picked out of the window. A little snap here from Sib. It's contested with a centimeter remaining. Attached to the last one up, and it'll finally end. But by golly, they shouldn't have had a chance, but they did.
If Kiz doesn't get on that point there, he's going on the flank. If he tries to take a gunfight or something, that round's done because both players were on it. You spawn out deep, but Kiz was there, able to contest, buys just that second to get his teammates there for the trade.
Just trying to stress out the fans as much as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
But now you got to get an offensive round win if you are Gorillas. The tick advantage, though, big enough for Cloud9 no matter what. LAG will be looking at a round 5 offense. So they're going to have to win back-to-back offenses. They're going to close this out in 3-0 fashion for the series. Kind of hard to believe in them to do that based on how this one has gone, but who knows?
No
Maybe
shit.
they'll flip the switch.
Yeah, now what? He was 4-15, so he really steps up, gets 11 in that defensive round.
Oh, God. Last I looked at it, he had 8 when I say doubled up, so he went nuts towards the tail end of that one.
Started to get going, and maybe he can catch.
What do you know? He gets some slang, and they can win around.
Yeah, maybe you get that going in this offense.
No, he really, that's I consider you had 4 through 2. Yeah, 11 and 1's pretty damn good. Nice little movement there to give himself a chance in this fight, but he's so weak. He's eventually going to be pushed out. Not going to attach, able to deal with that pressure clean.
Oh
That is
my
everything
God.
you want if you're Cloud9 New York. Back to the drawing board off spawn if you're LAG.
Rough timing there for Tramp. Just as he hits the slide, Kiz gets behind the rock. That's the right idea. You want to cut this off, but now you can see all of LAG just going to flood on through.
That timing not great for Sib either, like right as he kind of gives up the L trigger. So, I mean, that's about as good as it can get for LAG, though, considering how it started. You go 4 down, you're off spawn again, and then you find every kill after that, outside of what Attach got 1.
They go to B. They don't try to get on A. So Krem just kind of lurks inside a shed. He's only able to find 1, though. It's a good trade from Skies, as Gorilla Mate's starting to work this B point.
Yeah, kill from Lens gives him a little more room here to work with as well. Mac tries to hit the dive. He's not Sib, though, so it doesn't work out. Skies is able to chalk up another one there as Skies has got a sub in hand right now.
No.
He's got both to work with, I guess.
He's got an AR.
And that'll be the points secured. So, all right, you're in a pretty good position. Up a couple lives. This is where you maybe struggle, but can the Bulldog get loose? And can Lens continue to step it up? You're going to need some big plays here to get it to around 5. Kiz dancing with his teammate here, leaves up the Priesta to close out the fight. You've got a chance now to at least get on the point. Still a ton of time. Keep working this advantage. Spot the attach up in the window, and I guess he's got an elbow sticking out there. I think he thought he got safe behind it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right?
Or
Attach has just played this position right off a spawn early. He just goes all the way through, and with A in the position that it is, if you flip the map, you have a ton of angles on that A point. So he's just waiting patiently. But LAG still finding some kills behind Linz. Priest is just trying to distract, maybe put some pressure on Cloud9 to have to reposition and deal with him on the point.
Well, the big thing for Cloud9, like when they got their offensive win, right? It was like they had a couple 4 downs, or like at least like 3 downs to really put it in. Feels like you're gonna maybe need one of those. I don't know if you have enough time to really like lead the lives, but well, maybe you do. It ends up being what, a 3 down effectively. So I guess every time I say that, it happens kind of.
There you go, cast or curse.
Yeah, curse or blessing or whatever. But the next wave goes the way of Cloud9. Linz and Skies though kind of flipped the script. Halfway towards finishing A. Linz is on 5 in a row. Wow, has he bounced back? He was 5 and 20, wasn't he?
I just know he was 4 and 15 at one point.
He was 5 and 20. 5 and 20 and now basically back to even. I mean, this is like Skies' map 1. Starts out slow, goes nuts to get back into it. Same for Linz here. Now suddenly you're looking at around 5. And to be fair, I mean, that was...
Gotta get something to drink. I'll be right back, guys.
More of an impressive offensive win, even like Cloud9 had. Like Cloud9 has had this, like they kind of hit another gear and had this little stretch of 30 seconds where they were insane and found every kill. You had to work for it a little bit more there if you were LAG. Be disciplined around mid-map. Work through a couple waves of retakes from Cloud9, but they get it done, and, well, okay.
Well, not all kind of started, right? Just think about it. You had the 4 dead, and then it was all just like, if Kremp is able to get to rock a little bit quicker, as soon as that player Gigme crosses, that's when it just kind of unfolded. Just that one timing, because then they are completely trapped. But he gets through, and they just go all the way around to B. That's when they capture that B point.
Yeah, that moment could have gone so differently because, yeah, you're from a 4 dead to like they're capturing a point so quick there. That had to have been frustrating. So you really can't even count out LAG if they have a 4 break based on how it went last time. But, you know, you've got 3 people working rock on your opening. Probably not the ideal situation you want if you are LAG, but what will the timings be like as these gunfights get ready to go? Kiz just kind of holding towards spawn out in Boathouse. You'll see number 6.
Oh my
He's going
God.
for a swim, and Kiz is able to hear it or read it.
Nameless is right on that one.
He breaks the window. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
well, that's going to be a freebie.
I didn't hear it in my headset, but I'm assuming he got audio there. As he goes through the window, Kid's able to collapse and right back to the other side of the map, just trying to stay up. Now go ahead and reach out, holding, wait for the help to come in from Priest, avoiding the nade as well. Nice plays here from Kiz. Progress starting to work. Second tick looming.
I mean, you go from, if he loses that one-on-one, maybe there's only 2 players, maybe 1 player here. He takes his time. They're able to get the B point done, and now at minute 40. So great heads-up play there by Kiz. He's 33 and 28.
Oh, yeah.
Now on to this A point. So he's on 6 in a row, and now LAG looking to close out the series.
Is what you want to see out of Kiz, taking over. 99 Kiz popping off here. First tick done. 2 ticks to go. They haven't found a series victory yet, but they're looking for a 3-0 for their first series win. And coming back from an 0-2 hole in control, you go to Devin and Skies. Fires back to get 2 of his own. It'll be traded out right after that from Linz. You don't have a body on it for now, but you're up 3 lives. And similar to last time, you just never, this is where you did a really good job not going down like 3-4. And going back to step 1. You kind of always stayed in the middle of the progression here. You always had bodies. Am I saying it again? They're about to go 3 dead?
Yeah, they are. But
okay,
they kind of just like took their time.
I'm just going to shut up.
Kiz goes all the way through water side. So again, you can see Cloud9. They're literally just looking for Gigme. Multiple arrows are like, where is he? He's trying to, again, find that route to get his team out of this position. But they hunt him down. They hunt him down. Kremp doesn't want to overchallenge, but he's going to do it anyways with the pistol.
Kiz survived longer than he probably had any right to.
Come on now.
Ultimately, he did drop, and now, yeah, this is just what you were not able to get in the last round at all. Any kind of space on the map. If you were Cloud9,
why are y'all going to B?
30 more seconds. Max going to be injured guy. His timing's a little bit awkward. They fly out. Kremp can't finish the kill, or does he? He's able to get 2. I thought he was going to get caught, and everybody was going to be in trouble, but he's just able to get enough bullets in. Oh, God. Okay, he's able to finish it. Lost him there for a second.
Gotta get to A. LG's gotta go.
10 seconds now to go.
You have 3 players out. There's a chance.
Sib's gonna drop. One player left. Someone's got to get onto it. They were able to get on with 2 seconds left. That was 3 dead as well. One player still looming. They trade that out. We've got bodies here. 0.8 on the clock. 5 versus 6, and away we go. Linz has battled back and now wants to make the play. Pistol out. Greet your maker. They drop 3. That'll do it. LAG on the board with their first win in dramatic
Wow.
fashion. And Sky's smiling for the first time in a month, I swear.
And I'm sorry, Puckett, you were right. You got it right. You got it right.
I'm not that delusional now, am I, Joe?
Yeah, maybe a little delusional.
I am definitely
Yeah, just a
delusional.
little bit.
I don't know, man. I believe.
You believe.
I'm a believer.
Yeah, I think the big thing is obviously
That was a good-
they
that
looked
was a
great in
good
hardpoint,
game.
but solidified themselves in that search and destroying. I mean, coming back right there. Listen, this is our first time seeing Hacienda control again. If you watch BO4, this was not a map. It was a hardpoint search and destroy map, not a control map. Right? We played everything else.
That was fun.
No, they did real good.
It showed that you can win some offenses. I think that's what people were worried about.
Cloud9 did really good at keeping them at
Yeah,
bay.
yeah, we'll see in different matchups and stuff, but that was a whole heck of a lot of fun. What? 3 of the rounds were offensive wins. A lot of awesome stuff to see there. Some awesome plays. I mean, props to Linz from coming back. I think it was 5 and 20 whole at its worst. He ends up going basically even. The Bulldog was out and barking as he puts up 36. And for the series overall, I mean, like, think about it. You had a lot of, like, everyone just had their moments, whether it was Priest popping off in the map 1, Gigme popping off there in the map 3. Lynn starting slow, getting going in the map 3. Sky starting slow in the map 1, getting going over the course of it.
Don't let
They
your head
all
swell
had
up,
their,
though.
stretches and sequences
You only
they
won
put
one
in.
fucking
That's
series.
kind of what we hope for with this team. Like, everyone would have their chances. Well, there you did it, and you walk away with a victory. It was a close one. The maps 2 and 3 were very close. Map 1, like a 60-point Skyline's a pretty good win, but other 2 were tight.
Yeah, and then for Cloud9, it looked like you were kind of trajecting like the right way, upward. You get your 2 of your best maps 1 and 2, and you drop them right away.
Now the only team looking for a win will be Falcons. Good luck with that. LAG on the board, though. Des, break it down for us.
LAG gets a dub, and I wasn't worried at all during that game. 3-2-0, and then they come back and somehow win 3 rounds straight. So let's talk a little bit about this team. What did they do differently today in the matchup? Is it just the maps this time around?
Yeah, well, I don't think you say it's just the maps because we talked about the map set. It favored Cloud9 coming into it, especially the first 2. Map number 1, we saw Gigme making some huge plays. Obviously, Priesta in the kill department extremely well. And then we get to that last map there. I mean, they had no business winning that round. Sib kind of scammed, I'll be honest. You go back and watch the end of that. Sib should have just played a hard play to kill in the spawn, but nevertheless, you make a mistake, they're going to run away with it. Some huge offensive pressure. Just great thesis on how to play the map.
Now, Sim did drop most damage in the lobby back-to-back games. I was searching, and then, of course, it's game 3. Is he giving enough for the team, though?
Yeah, he is. It's hard because you want to put it all on one person, but like the chem and the build of this team just hasn't been able to be on the same page just yet. I thought maybe for a second we saw in this map 3, maybe we'd have another series, but again, you go up 2-0 in Hacienda. And what's even worse about this control to really set it up is not only that have neither of these teams played this and Cloud9 were up 2-0, but it's the fact that Gorilla's mates are a top 3 defensive team, and on this map, they won back-to-back attacks, not only to come back from the 0-2 deficit, but to then win in the round number 5.
I mean, listen, they just made massive plays. I mean, from the moment Kremp got that 2-piece on the right side, the game should have been done. Should have been 100% done. You put them in a box, you trade out. From there, it's over with. But instead, and I hope we take a look at it once again, production, but when at the end of the game, Sib is like behind them in their lobby, and it just gets out of their reach, and that's the problem I've seen with Cloud9 in so many of these.
There's that Kremp double, and then at the end, you got
Like, he gets
Linz
caught
chasing down the kills, and then gets to the hill after a teammate stalls. 0.9 on the clock. They're able to steal game 3, and it's your scuff play of the game. Let's take a look at it one more time. The ladder stall.
Yeah.
Haven't seen this since the sniping days.
Yeah, it's just a wild situation. I mean, obviously, Linz goes a little buck wild here, comes up, he gets the call out on Sib, finds that, and he knows somebody's going to be going for that trade, so hard plays the kill up top, and what he's thinking there is like, hey, somebody throw me a free kill here, please. And then just the smart play to like not just stack, to go and play the cut to alleviate that pressure with the pistol. One of the cooler plays we've seen at the end.
And then not taking the final chow as well, making sure he stays up. Heads up plays across the board was the difference maker in this one. 2 tight games, but at the end, it's a 3-0 for LAG. Allie,
Yes.
Who's your favorite player to watch today?
Favorite player had to be Lind. What do you mean? We literally set up the entire series for him being like, you're supposed to replace Hydra, dude. Like, there is so much expectation. Your ceiling is so high. And for them to finally get a win on the board and against New York Subliners, who is also looking stronger, it's got to be Lind.
Nameless, I know you have high praise for Cloud9 when they do well, but you also have some fierce criticism. So what do you need to see from this team that you hold to high standards?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just kind of talked about it. It's been the ARs for me since the very beginning for this roster. I don't see like a game mode they're like truly excelling in. They're a tough one to crack, man. I mean, they're potentially one of the teams that make a roster change. I know there is so many talented players down there in Challengers that have been going through the gauntlet. Illy, one of them, like I could really see him getting brought up. I don't want to put roster explosion loom on anybody, but if there is one, to me, it just makes sense for C9 to do it.
Keep your eyes on all the rosters, and hopefully we see all of our current lineups at Major number 1. When we come back, we get a rematch for Minor 1. Of course, it's round 1 where we saw Vegas Falcons nearly take down Optic at a hard point. When we get another close game 1, stay tuned to find out.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Esports World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
Absolute love of the Rio of this to the asset. And you get into the Karachi SD just so.
You know, we knew we were going to come in and handle business. You know, they're a pretty team. I don't know what all the hype is about around this match. I mean, look at the scores.
I did.
You heard some words. Scrap and Draza now getting the opportunity to go toe-to-toe. Who gets the final chance to head to Twitter? We're about to find out.
What do they have to give yourself a fighting chance here in the series? Real, ruthless aggression. Another upstairs, can't get it. It's Krent with 2. It's now down to Lucky. And will he be that in this 1v2 situation? Here they come. Finds the first. Oh my God! Lucky! Dios mío, how has he done that?
And backward.
Oh my God. Oh my God! The paternity test is in. I am the father.
On the stairs, Nice. I'm looking you. Could be outer.
Outer.
Nice. 3v1. See, please you.
Oh, nice, baby. Oh my God.
I mean, I'm trying to scam it. They won't even kill me.
Can they be shop scrap? No. Okay. Both in you. Yeah. I'm in you. We can you. Nice. Our set time.
It's sell. Make him do something.
It's 20 seconds. One more.
Roxanne. Mirror on the wall.
It's Anthony Roxanne. Anyone do some breathing with me?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
Just come in the bottom. I have low. He has to go top. Low.
I'm gonna help you 2 seconds. Nice!
That played so bro.
Welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Our first match is in the books, and before we kick off match number 2 with the Vegas Falcons taking on Optic Texas, we have one more thing to do. That's the winner's circle. We welcome Priesta to the circle. It's been a while, my guy. Way too long. And according to chat, you were on the chopping block entering today. Did you feel that pressure personally?
It's funny because I was talking to my stream about it. I feel like that's kind of how it's been my entire career. Like even when I first joined FaZe, they're like, "Who's Priest and why are you on FaZe?" And like I have bad series, and people say I need to be dropped, and then I win, and then they come back. They're like, "Oh my God, he's good." But it wasn't much as pressure as just wanting to win and just as a team just play super confident.
Today, you guys showcased that you had a 1.24 personally, though. What was different? Was it just Skyline allowing you to run the SMG? Confidence? What changed?
Oh, by far confidence. Especially with the last year I've had, and then going in this and not closing out certain series that we think we should be closing out. For me, it's just keeping my mental strong and just telling myself to be confident in literally every single situation. Because when I start hesitating and stuff like that, that's when my gameplay falters.
Priesta, we've seen you at your highest ceiling. We've seen every one of your teammates at their highest ceiling. You know, there's no rookies on your roster. We know what to expect from you guys. Could you, without giving too much away, kind of just give us the hope? What should we expect moving forward from the Gorillas mates heading into Major 1?
Yeah, I mean, going forward, like I said before, the past series that we just played, we felt like we should have won some of those and closed those out. And we're just working out those small little kinks that we have in our gameplay and just trying to figure out how to optimize our gameplay and just play the best we can. And we're just going to keep improving.
The problems have been pinpointed, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Sure, well, let's dive into those a little bit. Search and Destroy, a game mode I expect you guys to be top 2, top 3 at. What's been going on there? From what we've seen, it just looks like the chemistry between Linz and Kismet hasn't been there. Kiz has been getting caught on his own. Can you talk me through some of the issues and growing pains?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing I've been saying. I feel like it's just a confidence thing, just confidence, even for myself, when I was playing in those tournaments and 8s, it was I was making play calls and I was thinking about it, I was in matches, I'm not confident in my play calls sometimes. So I'm just literally just going over and over in my head, just being confident in just everything I'm doing, and just as a team, just going into every single round, just knowing what we're gonna do, how we're gonna execute it, and stuff like that. And when we have numbers, just playing that situation well.
Nice.
Priest, I know you got beat up while you were on Boston for a full year, but now you're in a New Jersey, and we're gonna revisit the positivity. Final question for you. You're a world champion, but what else should the fans know about the guy with 2 H's in his name?
What else should they know? I mean, I'm not gonna give up, I guess. You know, I can go 0-7 in this stage. I'm still gonna try, and I'm gonna come out swinging. I still have potential in me, and I know I can win events. So even if we're losing, don't doubt us. We're gonna come out and we're gonna do our thing at this major.
He's a world champ for a reason. That's Priesta. Great to see you back to your winning ways.
All right, thank you.
Great to see him still with that positive mentality, grinding throughout all of the hate. We've got another squad who knows a lot about adversity. The Vegas Falcons are taking on Optic Texas today, and Optic, clearly the fan favorites during the minor. Everyone wanted to see Shotzi get 100 match wins. Today he gets number 99 if they take down Vegas.
I love that you say adversity when it's not literally this tall mountain looming over the Vegas Falcons right now just trying to get a win. But if there's any time to do it, against Optic Texas would be unreal. This matchup was a little bit wonky last time. Falcons were able to take a really early lead, but it's of Optic Texas, and specifically Kylo Ken really spawning in on the map to pull themselves back into 3-0 that series.
Yeah, looking at this one, I mean, Optic have been great. Obviously, their search, they've been good in search and destroy. They lost back-to-back searches to Carolina, where they, went the distance. And honestly, Optic had some really good adjustments in those search and destroy. So I still think they're a great search team. They're not as dominant in hardpoint as they were last year right now. So that's definitely something to look at. I think missing Pred a little bit in that HP. Guy who can go out there and just take over and drop a bunch of kills. But Dashy has stepped up in that kill department for them, and that shouldn't be a concern in this matchup versus Vegas.
They're finding ways to win. Last time it was a 3-0. We'll see what they come out with in this series. Before we jump into the next team, quick reminder, Optic is hosting Major 2, and tickets are available this coming weekend. So stay tuned. Make sure you're ready to cop them, because if it's anything like Champs, that place is going to be sold out again. Tickets are going to be gone before you even get a chance.
Oh, yeah. The events in Texas are always unreal. The food's unreal. The people, the venue, the setup. Optic always put on a great show.
All right, and on the other side of this matchup, we do have to talk about the other other green team, we saw 2 new players come up from challengers for the minor. They only have 1 match under their belts coming into this qualifier match. Tell me about Wixel, Dahum, Roxas, and Xnid. What is the vibe in Vegas?
Yeah, so I was saying that last series, map 1 super close. Xnid, you know, breaking the kill record, going absolutely crazy. And I would just say, like, Wixel and Dahum started slow. By map 3, what I saw was like they got way more comfortable. If they felt better on the map number 1, weren't as nervous, they probably win that and we have a different series potentially going to game 5. So for Vegas, it's about like start hot like you did last time, but stay calm and close out these tense situations because you're getting to good spots on the map.
This match is almost ready, so we're jumping straight into maps and modes. Alley Cat, Optic, last time able to get a 3-0 as you take a look at Vault Hacienda. Any concerns for them this time?
I just got PTSD. We're going to Vault Hardpoint again. If you're Falcons, you're feeling great about the start of that series. I'm looking at this and I'm realizing Optic definitely just feel really confident after the minor. Maybe misplacingly so, but we'll see.
We'll see if they get to test out some new maps. Skyline will be closing out games 4 and 5. It's time for our Scuff Pick'ems. I'll go first. I'm going with the team we all thought was going to win the minor, Optic Texas.
I'm also going to go with Optic Texas. I like what they show us despite bowing out.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Optic Texas as well. I thought about it for a second, but I'm going to go with Optic Texas. I think they get it done.
Your first qualifier match, and he doesn't take you, Vegas. I don't know Wixel and Dahum. It's time to shine.
Now,
We
I
send it over to
believe
Miles and Chance. Gentlemen, take it away.
that
Thank you very much, Desk. A good series ahead of us, a rematch, of course, from Minor 1. But a lot of fun this one should be.
I believe
We've got some
today,
hot
too,
hands,
starts
some
at like
super shooters
1:30.
there on the side of the Vegas Falcons, going up against arguably one of
We'll
the
see.
the top dogs in the league. Optic have got a lot to prove still, maintaining this top spot. I feel like the Falcons are getting close. Do you think today's the day?
I think Falcons are getting close to like map wins, yes, but not an actual series so far. They haven't really shown that sauce. But one of the reasons I'm super excited is not just is it going to be fun to watch the 2 teams play, we get a Vault Hardpoint for map number 1, and that is where we saw a 50 bomb get dropped, and that was for the L. So if you can get the level of slaying output from the Falcons that they had just a week ago, and maybe play the map a little bit better, you might actually see a victory. But hey, anytime there's a 50 bomb watch, I'm here for it.
But yeah, the 52, the current record in the CDL world. That's right, the EKA must have been high 80s for that one as well. Xnid, the man of the moment. We'll see if he can bring it again. Not an easy thing to do, especially on a map like Vault, especially against players like Optic. How much have they learned, though, Chance? We've seen the Dahum and Wixel now spending a little bit more time with the roster. It should come out a little hotter, a little stronger, a little tighter. Here we go, folks. Map number 1.
Hey, you know, you talk about adjustments as well of like what exactly we're going to see. It's going to be fun for both of the teams because the Falcons' goal is to like just get better effectiveness out of your kills. And then from Optic, it's like adjusting to the Falcons' play style. Like Kenny talked about it. It is, hey, the timing's going to be weird. They're playing at a faster pace at different times, playing at a slower pace different times. And by the looks of it, Optic have adjusted to it. They got the absolute blender set up on the map for the moment. A clean P1 hold so far.
So far, so good. Luke's doing what he can. Hardpoint now gets bust wide open. Vegas Falcons are in. No one watches the side door, though. Kenny bangs his way through. Can't get anywhere out this light ball. Kenny! Whoa! Kenny Williams! What a turn.
Loves to do it. That's what he has, the jackal in hand. Kenny, Mr. Do-It-All, has been for a long time. And again, Optic, I mean, they started on the, quote, wrong side of the map. They flipped the spawns, kept everything under control. Shotzzy starts off 6-0, and his teammates get to happily collect that hilled time. And funnily enough, Hook actually leaves the back spawn open and has the awareness to catch a player. So Optic are heads up about everything, and Shotzzy still can't be stopped.
Enjoying these routes Shotzi's taking. This is a lovely bit of in and out engagement while his teammates are in the hill. This is a perfect example, folks, of how hard it is to deal with a player like this. This is an 8 spree. It could have been 9. His teammates now with pressure on the hardpoint. Dashi and Hook, they're doing a great job there. Kenny on the back line there cleans house. That is perfect, calm, smooth gameplay out of Optic Texas.
Yeah, I love the looks of Shotzzy as well, right? He's like hunting the kills down. He doesn't care if he gets traded. He knows he needs to get involved on the pinch. So you don't exactly have to play for a nuke in this lobby. You play for a dominant win and more things going right from Optic. Heads up about the spawns. There's one from Kenny. Snaps on the second. He knows where they're coming from and knows how many there are going to be. Optic, they're looking perfect so far on Vault.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. The map awareness right now from the Optic boys is outstanding. The gunny doesn't even have to be that hot. They have got full control right now. Hook puts Xnid down, who is not having the same level of production as the minor. What a moment
for the Optic boys now, as they've got themselves P3 shots, full control. Shots, going to open up this side of the map for now, and there you go. We're in. Vegas Falcons back alive.
First time in 2 minutes they've been able to set up the map in their way, but a great setup for Falcons too. Got mid-map under control. Exnit has already swung out in position to cover the hallway, and he's catching players as well. So everybody right now exactly where you need to be, but a delicate moment as well. Can't afford to give up these spawns. Make sure Optic doesn't do anything a little bit slippy. So the map is dangerous, but Falcons, they still have the setup for new. They might trade away the final 10 to make it happen.
Big looks again from the Falcons. We've seen them go from a team that only ran one submachine gun to a team that seems to be running 4 right now. So again, different looks, different lives, and right now they're doing the very best they possibly can to hold on. Dahoom in the hard point alone gets taken down by Hoog. Now you've got a full break there, Optic in full control, and once again that front line pushed far forward. Kenny #1 there on the minimap, 10 and 8 so far, keeping the bottom side of the map safe.
Yeah, and if you were looking for your momentum of the game, it was it right there. Falcons opportunity, Money Hill were rotating to you, got the full setup, trade away from scrap time. Optic break it down instantly, and well, now it's their playground where they get the setup on a P4. That is a Money Hill, and traditionally a little bit easier to hold. Dashy dealing with 2 on the outside. One right now from Falcons able to pierce the setup until Exnit does it himself. They break it down exactly when they need to.
You get 3 dead. The bad news, though, the last player up is Hoog, and he's fighting for it. Above the hard point right now, still trying to keep the pressure. Trades back and forth. When will Kyler Garland send it? Here he goes. Finds one from the hip. Back into the point. Next 10 seconds going to be his. Teammate spawning on this side of the map. But no drama. First set of hard points complete. Optic Texas, a commanding lead.
And digging the plays from Hoog too. Little bailout moments. Things get, they sour a little bit. You ripen him back up. He even has the hand cannon on, but frankly, I'd like to see him pull it out. That'd be fun. Let the hate flow through you.
It was rated way back in BO4. I think it wasn't a gridlock. He pulled off the perfect 6, no misses. We ain't missing either, chat. We're going for a listen in right now with Optic Texas.
Are you XG one shot? Are you absolute close? Close one shot. One shot, 2 cat. Close. Beer you, want to be beer you. You right there, close. Close are open. With the end. Stop cat. Stop cat. Stay close. Maybe the lobby or something, bro. Shut. You like it. Lobby? Put it up here. Lobby. Stop cat at me, bro. I don't see shit cat. Dump stuff to me. One guy should be new. I see 2. Don't worry, Emma, guys. He's dead. Out of pump. What's this? Out of pump. He's still there. You're lying. Here we go. One shot back to. Alright, one's cat late. X's cat late. One's in there. One time. There's one inside the rest. Yo, one's in the back. Roxas. I look at you down. Getting back. Tom Callan. I have to come Callan. We're back there. Tom, what's that? Nice. Sure. One shot. It's done. On the check. Absolute. Nice. Spawn in the back. You can take a shot. Take a shot. I got time. I'll kill us in front. Left side. I left. More in the back. One shot. Go short. You went short. Underneath you. You went already. Hey, look at it. Absolute look at. Wait, don't forget. I spawn out. They spawn back. One's pool. Take pool. In the back. I'm looking at pool. In the back, dude. Nice job, bro. I'm grabbing this time. I'm staying out. I'm standing in the back. Be short. I'm just staying out. Another one in the back. I'm playing safe new, yeah. I have your short, by the way. One left street. Two go left street. 2 of them. I have it. Let the left yet. Middle. Left exit. Absolute Ivy, bro. Ivy with one shot. For you, Ant. To you. One to the middle. He's gonna be over you.
It is an absolute masterclass from Hoog. 24 and 6 over a minute of hardpoint time. Great comms, lovely patience. He simply does it all.
Repeated 5 sprees in the SMGs right now from Optic. I mean, it doesn't really get better than this. 17 and 8 for Shotzi, 24 and 6 from Hoop. I mean, you get a guy with a 4 KD. Things are obviously going to be going right. I think Optic have sort of handled the sort of mixiness that the Falcons can bring to the table. They sort of figured them out just a little bit, at least on this map.
Yeah, the team, the Vegas Falcons team, it can be a real whirlwind. It can be a real lightning storm. But right now, Optic Texas have put that lightning into a bottle, and they can do with it as they please right now. Hook, another 5 spree. Can't get the 6th. We're going back over towards the hard point now. Dashy lining up for the attack. Wixel, pressure now through the middle. Trades are there. And the pinch is done. Roxas gets involved. But again, 15 seconds to go on this point. It's not so much about P3 as it is about the next.
Well, yeah, and 2 players from Optic spawning out as well. So if we're worried about the next, Falcons actually potentially in full control. But Dashy wins a big one over by Art. And the 2 players that spawn on the left side of the map from Optic bail you out into whom left by himself, looking to make the high impact play.
Oh, he's on. Hold it together. Good shots there on the Dashi. Second man in. The pinch is now there from Shotzi on the front side. Roxas picks up that, so now you've got it. Great work. Vegas Falcons cross the 100-point mark. They're 90 points away. They've got to string together some sensational hard points, but a little bit of momentum can start working out. You've slowed down Hook. 28-9. Sounds weird, but it's true.
You'll take it, but the Whom again, little bailout play. You love to see it. One player slipped the net, though, from Optic, got to the back line. That's Kenny and Falcons. Well, 24 seconds left on the time. You certainly want to hold it, but you leave a spawn open. Now things are looking chaotic, but Exnid, this is the player that can handle the chaos. He's up top, and now things are going to get much easier for him. Beautiful sequence on the P4. Falcons, they certainly have some fight in them.
Back over to P1, and here's the fight. Exnid brings down Shotzi, control of the map, and I think he saw that play out on the cross as well. This man is moving. Anyone who's watched his personal stream knows he puts up the numbers, and what a unique aim. That right stick moving and grooving. Over to the Whom once again, patrolling the halls. He's lost Whom. Can he catch him? He can. Falcons still in control, and the shots from the Whom, not enough. Kenny, he's now making the approach towards the hard point. The Chance Optic are on for a break.
Yeah, it's getting crazy as well. I mean, final 40 seconds. Kills being picked up on the left side of the map at Optic. I mean, they're here. They're watching it. Hoop, he's got it covered. Trade's going out in towards P1. Mixy moment by the Pillars, and Falcons come out on top. And, I mean, that's good for the short term. Long term is they're losing bodies. Shotzi and Kenny give you extra kills. Optic still spawning out over towards P2. And thank God Optic have the spawns, because the kills for Falcons, I mean, they started to find them.
They're finding them every time. The Whom on the front now picks up Kenny as well. My goodness, he's cooking.
Yeah, they're getting their asses handed to them now.
Rotation's not set. Roxas and Exit, they're now inside. Can they clear out the back as well? You've got an opportunity here to hold this one. Kenny now trying to get the approach. He does find one on the back. Still over to Exit, finding his kills. Inside the hard point. Dashi now trying to make the break, and he does. Optic with an opportunity to hold.
So patient, but you're not going to read this. Free kill here for Dahum. He's got himself towards time, reads the front pressure, traded. Optic stabilized, desperate right now just to fight and stay alive. On the kills department, Falcons have flipped this switch, and Kenny might have flipped it right back. 2 in the feed in a moment to breathe from Optic. 30 seconds on the hill to go.
Not letting anyone get through. Now Shotzi causing problems. Looking towards the new hard points as well. He is everywhere. He is everything, and right now he's stopping any progression from the Falcons. New hard points on its way. Kenny moving over. Falcons in position for this one as well. They want the early rotation. They need the time.
I was about to say, those have been nice shots if he collects that kill, but the concussion there to shut him down. So Falcons, they get the setup, and they're winning the gunfights around. You prevent Dashi from getting in a power
so
position.
many people trying to fucking YYY shit.
It does his job. You at least have the information on Hook trying to cross out through P4. And in the meantime, Hook finds the route while Hook is a distraction. Shotzi gets a man out of time. And things right now for Falcons are super chaotic.
Hook is still a distraction. Exit on the turn. Nice work. A war of one front now. As you make the play, Falcons try to get back in the point, or at the very least keep Optic out of it. Dash over by Palms. That's going to be a problem. One of the straightest shooters we've ever seen. Finding a couple more alongside Hook. Streaks now from Dahum. Oh, will it connect at the very least? Again, keeping the point clear. It's 2 for Dahum, and you've got a hard point again.
I mean, look, they're just keeping the pressure up. 14 seconds to go, though, and Optic should clear it out. And more important for them, they spawn 3 players for Falcons out on the right side of the map. So even if it is forced a new time, Optic Texas should have control of the map. Those kills from Kenny right there, more or less, are going to seal the deal.
Yeah, Dahum finding himself a couple of kills, keeping the boys off it for now, but it's going to be a matter of seconds. New rotation done. Optic Texas, you are in, and the setups were just too good. Kudos to the Falcons on the bite back, but Optic too tough to handle there in map 1.
And overall, a more normal game there coming in from Optic. So you prevent the 50 bomb pressure, you figure things out just a little bit, and you make sure you keep it stable, or stable for you, chaotic for the enemy. A lot of good lukes coming in from Hook, especially multiple 5 sprees, but even towards the end where he gets through P4, he's distracting these players, forcing Falcons to have to calm like crazy and pick up all the tiny little things, but it's difficult to do, and that's going to open up things like Shotzi to find little routes through secret. So Optic certainly just in their bag off the back of Hook.
off the back of Hook. 39 and 18, 29 untraded, and just over 4k damage. That is ideal from Hook. Exactly what you want to see. A team starting to make the moves come together. Of course, Hook's only been in the roster now, chance for a couple of months at best. So this is a really nice look for Optic. Again, a team that was already so sound. Hook's 14 objective kills as well, folks. Kyler Garland having himself a map. 1-0 lead here for Optic Texas against their old pals, the Vegas Falcons, one of the other green teams in the league. And moments like that from Hook, huge rotation kills, huge flanks. Man did it all.
Yeah, and of course, on the flip side for Falcons, like maybe did a better job of sort of creating opportunities and getting control of the game. Those P4 rotations, they get the kills, they get the setups, but it's moments like that at this level, you just have to capitalize on because you know the other teams will. And I think for Falcons, I mean, expected, again, very fresh team, 2 new players on the roster. These things are going to happen, but that's where you look to sort of turn things around. Maybe for some degree of positivity to whom might have had a slow start. Dude bounced right back, got a cruise missile, got in the mix, locked down a P4, and found some high impact plays. So the young guns, well, they came to play.
He also had a moment towards the very last P3 in the map where he was basically keeping like 2 members of Optic at bay to keep them out of time. They were still able to win it. There was 13 seconds on the clock remaining. They were sitting at 240. He was really making those moves, just proving to be a very difficult player to deal with. Nice movement, good shots, everything sort of coming together at the end. But again, look at that slow start from them, flatlining right out of the gate. 2 seconds on P1 into nothing out of P2. A huge hold from the Optic boys, and they just sort of cruised that one. Nice comeback though in the second set of hard points there for the Falcons boys, but again, too little too late. We'll see if that hot hand continues going into the search and destroy chance. Stainer on Vault, Hacienda for that game of control. It should be a lot of fun, and we get to Skyline. By the time we get to Skyline, these players are going to be so warm and so ready to rock. That is going to be an absolute treat. But first and foremost, Vault S&D, how are we feeling about this one, mate?
It depends on the perspective you're looking for. I think Optic's certainly going to be happy to play on it. Very standard map. It's sort of a cookie cutter in the way that plays out. And honestly, they might be looking at it as an opportunity to show more B hits on offense, try to get different sort of setups and different looks, because Falcons will absolutely fight in S&D. Been their best game mode we've seen from those guys overall. So you know they're going to be able to sort of bring their A game to the table. But I'm looking for a degree of creativity. See like how far you can sort of pressure up on the map and like how creative you can get, just as a test to see what works. So well, it's going to be a good time. Always a good fight with the Vegas Falcon boys, but I know Optic are going to be sort of hungry for the moment.
I think this map, especially, we've already touted the A-bomb site as the go-to hit. The B-bomb site a little bit more difficult to retake. So many more angles there. This isn't quite like Checkmate in Cold War, where no one planted the A-bomb site, the one on the far right-hand side by green. No one touched that. It's not going to be the same sort of case. But we're talking about Dashi now, folks, when it comes to Search and Destroy. He has been the heaviest hitter, I think, in the league thus far in BO6 charts.
His KD has been outstanding. He's fallen off to a 1.38. He was sitting at like a 1.9, 2.0 for quite some time. So things are looking a bit more normal. Obviously, the clutch is on point as well, leading the league again this year. He's topping that category. And I mean, it's not just for the performances in the CDL. S&D8s have been a lot of fun to watch. Kason throws the tournament. That was a ton of fun to watch. And Dashi's throwing up ridiculous 1v2s and 1v3s in there as well. So he is certainly enjoying him Call of Duty this year. It's been a great time.
Yeah, those were 7 ping kills. Those are the cleanest kills I think I've ever seen in COD. 6 or 7 ping. My guy was putting them through it. Really, really impressive stuff. Pixel perfect gameplay, boys and girls. We'll be seeing a little bit more of that in the upcoming S&D. Again, for the Optic boys, strong looks. We're going to be seeing them flex the playbook a little bit, start to get a little bit more creative here on Vault. We've seen many, many times from them already this season. A-bomb, obviously, a submachine gun player's dream. Over by B, though, that's where we're going to see Kenny and Dashi, and of course, Hook on the flex there, having a little bit more fun with those long-range rifles. Let's get into it in a moment, folks. Chance, any sort of wild calls here? I mean, Falcons, we've seen them get map wins on this mode as well. And we see them get a big one against the Optic boys.
Best potential for them to do so without question, but I'll go with 6-3 Optic win. Like there's going to be some fight, but I think they're looking very controlled. And another sort of theme for the Falcons is going to be teams' first experience playing against them versus their second. I genuinely think will be a factor. Certainly more so for the respawns, but like you got to get a feel for the new style. It is something that has been thematic throughout Call of Duty history. When you're playing against Australians for the first time at COD Champs, those dudes were playing S&D differently back in the day, and it could catch you off guard. Different regions have these different flavors. In Vegas, well, I say Vegas, teams from Saudi, they're bringing a different flavor to the game, and I'm gonna have to adjust to map 1, slam them on the vault. I think you try to adjust for the S&D as well. So I don't know. I just want to be hit, frankly. For me, I don't care. That's all I care about, Miles.
There's a good chance we get it. There's a very good chance that the man on screen there might be the one to run that bomb down over towards that B side of the map. Any one of the players who typically runs the bomb there for the Optic lads, we'll see if he does that at this moment in time. No, it's gone over to Mr. Hook. Will he deliver the goods? A looks to be the target. And an explosive opener, but nobody's home just yet. Oh, wait a minute. Exnid somehow picks out Shotzzy first blood.
First blood, you'll take that. Bomb is going to go down, so Optic get to test their holds. Vegas Falcons get to test their retakes, and well, Dashy's got the hallway. Kenny wins a massive one-on-one gunfight cross map as well, so the odds have been exchanged, and Dashy gives you the advantage. Not a lot of teamwork rolling through just yet.
Perfect reach out. Oh, and Dahum sends it. A lot of damage in there from Dashy, but now you've got another player to contend with. 20-odd seconds remaining here, and the Falcons are starting to take flight. They line up in the middle. No, the timing not ideal there. Kenny gives it up for a second. Oh, Hook on the wrap. We might be seeing some shenanigans here. Honor the bomb. Dahum with the quick coverage. He's got to cover a lot, and I don't know if it's going to work out. Optic Texas down a man in the round.
Instant 3v4, and one of those moments for Kenny where he just catches a pick on the opposite side of the map, and that was a long-range gunfight that came through. So that's one Vegas Falcons player down. Then Dashy isolates another play in the hallway, wins a difficult gunfight, and the trades just take too much time. So especially, I mean, that's the name of the game. You get the man advantage. You got to get the trades. ISO chows are only good when you win them.
Wise words. Round 2 on its way. Falcons attack. Falcon go. Falcon punch. Falcon plant. Falcon swipe. Exnid. Oh, stuns up Dashy. So now you're going to be on a bit of a wrap. Plenty of space here, but perfect check there from Shotzzy. Cracks the door. Checks left. Slides right. Easy kill. First blood.
And a much different mini-map as well. It's man advantage from Optic, and they have control of everything. Kenny backing players down. The bomb is yet to move itself out of spawn, and Dahum trying to make plays with it, but now Kenny's in a god spot. He can see the push coming. Can't deal with that. Vegas Falcons want to reposition and work towards the A site, and that means you're dealing with Shotzzy. That means you're dealing with Hook and how good their coordination could be. Good luck on this one. As soon as Shotzzy get this intel, Hook's going to pounce.
Yep, they've seen him. Waiting for it. Here comes Hook. There's number 1. Oh, we're going for the AR, but he doesn't realize that player's still behind him in corridor. Dahum has up the brakes somewhat. Roxas with a tag. Roxas with a kill on a Shotzzy out of seemingly nowhere. So 25 seconds to party. Kenny turns it into a 1v2. Hook and Dashy take down Dahum.
Ooh, he's going for the A side as well as the Jackal, so maybe he wants to keep things up close, but just gets caught. Yeah, Optic Texas not going to let that one slip through, and maybe I want to change my 6-3 prediction there, Miles. Maybe a little bit more dominant from Optic, because this has been clean and efficient. The setup on point, I mean, you get that first blood from Shotzzy, they get all the map control, and then no mistakes made. Hook plays a corner in the middle of the map. Shotzzy roaming the top hall, no one over chows, no one over commit. Shotzzy gets the info and sends Hook in for free kills. Textbook Call of Duty being played by Optic Texas.
I will say, no, you don't get to change your pick. Like Ali tried to do it before during the break in the earlier match. Like, I might have to change. No, you don't get to change those picks. They do not get changed. All bets are off, folks. 2-0 lead here for Optic Texas. And Hook might have eaten the nade that time. Yeah, takes the damage. Is this necessarily enough to get the Falcons in towards the bomb site? Not so much. They're hitting the pool, and they are not there for a chill time. They are there for the retake.
Hey, now Hook just gets to play the bomb, though, and look forward. And Dashy also gets to play his life around the hallway. So they're funneling them through over towards the pool side of the map. So a good setup from Optic, but Dashy loses the first gunfight. So Falcons again with man advantage.
Here we go. 25. Shotzzy at one end of the vault, Hook at the other.
Or 3v4?
Kenny now making his long wrap. He's about to pick up a couple here. Eyes on Dahum. Eyes on Roxas downstairs. Now Kenny not going to overbite this one. Hook loses his gunfight to Wixel. Sends it on the inside of the site. Kenny on the late wrap. Oh, what a win from Exnid. This could be the round. Do they get on the bomb? Oh, it might be 0.1 of a second. I think they got it.
They got it. You were exactly right. It was 0.1 or 0.3 on the clock. That was so close. And that could have been another man advantage situation. Falcons do not clutch, but they got the job done. And that just comes down to the 1v1 gunfights being won. You don't want to have to take the ISO gunfights, but if you don't give yourself time to work with, you gotta win them. And both Wixel and Exnid deliver.
That was a
if
good
I'm honest,
game.
that's one of those moments where Kenny in the comms goes, God, what are they doing? They're going so slow.
Right, I'm gonna
but it
eat
works
lunch.
out when you're dialed in like that.
So I'm gonna take off the
Wixel
webcam. I
just
don't
took
think
a
y'all want to
really
see me
good
eat. So
deep exhale.
y'all keep watching, and
Moment
I'll be
like
right
that.
back.
2-1. Do you want to change your pick again, mate?
I'll stop flip-flopping. I apologize. I'll stand on business.
Stand on business. Exnid download by the bomb site. Wixel way out. I think he got spotted there by Kenny.
Oh, yes, he did.
Nice nade. The kill team being sent in to take care of him, but it shots you down low. Might get caught out here from some awkward timing. And Wixel, his life is not long in this round. Easy pickups there. 2v2, 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's a moment where instincts need to take over. There was 2 players behind Wixel, and he gets caught. But also for Optic, not a lot of time to work with. Hooks cleared out one section of the map. You gotta converge on site. And in the meantime, the Falcons players making moves. You gotta go, gentlemen. Find these 2 kills down low. Exit into corner. Wins the gunfight. Both the Falcons player win their ones. A little pop off and excitement. That was a well executed round.
I saw a chef's kiss and everything, man. This is amazing. I love it, this. Exnid's nice work here from that tight corner. The setup was on. We saw, Dahum was doing laps, and Shotzi was half a step behind seeing him in nearly every engagement there. The equalizer found there by the Vegas Falcons. How far can this momentum take him?
We'll see. They've been getting the man advantages too as well on the defensive end, even with the bomb plants going down. So believe in their ability, at least to find these first bloods. Optic, another standard push, attacking the A site, going through the hallways. Kenny left over towards gold to watch B Street. Dashy to protect the pool. And Dahum down low, it is an SMG square up there getting active.
Oh, it's active indeed. And Dahum, able to hit the first kill and get away with his life. Nice work on the left stick. Kenny is going to run into Roxas. Runs into nothing but trouble. 2 clean kills here for the Falcons.
Kick the door into death. And they know they have the bomb down as well. Shotzi gets caught. Roxas out here making plays. It is Dashy though, but in an impossible situation with bomb down as well.
Good.
Can't count him out. Just let him get to work.
Good. This only makes it more exciting. 35 seconds. Here comes the attack. And he was feeling it. Wixel finding the last kill there. Falcons a perfect round.
Bringing the energy too. I see Roxas in the comms after the end, popping off, getting hype, and maybe making another play call because it was Roxas with the reads in that round. Win on Kenny was huge. Picks up Shotzi as well, so taking care of business and much more effective now with the man advantages. Maybe Falcons sort of finding their flow just a little bit. Certainly playing with some confidence.
Yeah, I'll
Chef's kiss. Yeah, you were not kidding. Wow.
He loves it, bro. Wixel's, I'm on 2 in 2 rounds now. Cooking up. Something special here with a lead now for the Vegas Falcons. We'll see if Optic here on defense can find any speed or surprise to catch the Falcons unaware. But right now, it looks to be good. Exnid on the approach. That's Dahum over his shoulder. Another first blood.
Please go plant the bomb. Please go plant the bomb. Your teammates got the art. Move over towards that B site. Someone watch Secret. Number 5 just running past. But they get the bomb down. It took them a little bit to sort of get the situation. But now the situation is made of gold. This is the best situation you could ever be on in an attacking round.
And the frag grenade explodes, takes care of the card, doesn't take care of any players. Shotzi now. What will you do on the retake here, brother? 30 seconds, we're in the red. Kenny
There's
down.
nothing he can do.
There's nothing. Kenny down. At great range, you pass the information over to Dashy. Can he find any kills up close? No, he cannot. Dahum with another clean one. Shotzi now forward, and another sensational round from the Vegas Falcons.
I'd again talk about the play call. I have no idea who's making it, but either Wixel or Roxas was the ones being motor mouse at the start of the round, and they found the B hit that I was looking for. Perfectly played, hunted Hoog down, got everybody into position through art, pushing players past, and even Roxas being cheeky. He's over playing gold. He leaves the top door closed. Shotzi clears it out, and he ends up behind enemy line. So might not have been the most impactful kill, but ideas being thrown out left and right. Maybe shout out Clay.
Yes,
Maybe.
I'm still
Him
here.
and Lou putting in the work, clearly. Oh, 4-2. It's been 4 straight rounds so far for the Vegas Falcons, and they've just caught wind of another player. Now, Dahum on a 4 spree. Red dots all over the place, and they're running in tandem together. A fast plant here by A, but wait a minute. Oh, Kenny, what a win. On site now, 4 Optic players. Dashy on the back line. Catches out Xnid. Massive advantage for Optic.
Supine players are impossible to spot. By the time you kill Dashy, well, 30 seconds left to go, and Wixel and Roxas need to pull off something crazy. Well, Roxas gives you a 2v2, and Wixel gets away. Problem is, they're still running out of time.
Wixel banged that door with a knife. Roxas down and out. 1v2. Less than 20 seconds to go. Wixel might be able to get at least one here off the bomb, but good luck finding shots. He was on his tail quick. Hook seals the deal. Optic finally stop that bleeding.
Yeah, and you see the adjustment being made from Optic as well. It's typically been Kenny playing out towards goal. This time it's Dashy being responsible for the long line of sight. And how does Kenny want to play it? Does he play it like Dashy does by pool? Not at all. Pulls out the Jackal, gets in the mix with the boys as well. So Optic, again, on the creative front, they've shown a few different ideas with the A hits. They've been consistent on the bomb site, but they've done something different every time. So always fun to figure out what works and what doesn't. See how many tricks you can sort of add to the pile or little tweaks to any given setups. Still, though, it's Vegas. Bomb in hand, man advantage, or excuse me, round advantage as well. Man advantage goes to Dashy.
Not anymore, right? There you go, Optic. First blood. And Chelsea waiting for the call from the boys. That nade is perfect. Oh, RC car eliminated. Hook from deep spawn now is going to have to make the run up towards his boys. Optic have done a lovely job here on defense, maintaining map. Vegas have got nothing to really work with.
They're going to need some time to go their way, and it absolutely does. Dashy just caught in between mid and in between Hall, and got a 3v3. And coming. Plenty of time to work with. Just no space on the map.
Shots, he's coming. Here he is. He's just slowly making his way down the stairs, and that's the problem. A nearly unreadable position. Talk about off angles, and then that. Obtuse, if you ask me. Man advantage to Optic.
A great player came on to whom as well. Just the snap back of like, why is he doing that, brother? Like, okay.
Oh, Rox is caught out. 1v2, last man. Wixel finds himself in this situation once again. And this is for the equalizer for Optic.
Able to get the bomb down, but with an AR in hands, it's going to be tough.
That certainly helps. Gets himself. Oh no, the sub. Kenny there with a perfect angle from top pool, just gets enough damage and a shoulder thrown, a shoulder that was his demise. Optic Texas tied up 4-4. What a search we've got here.
Yeah, just another clinical round towards the end. Shout out to Dashy for giving you the first blood. And even though he does get picked and there's no immediate trade, Shotzi still in good position and keeps that man advantage flowing and perfectly played it towards the end as well. So Optic on point, and I'm still waiting for the B hit from them. Maybe they'll just have another idea for the A site, or if Optic are just sort of churning through every single thing they can do. Kenny or Dashy, who's playing out towards gold? It's actually Kenny with the bomb in hand, so more similar to what we saw the round before. Shotzi through the middle of the map.
Pass it towards B. A little bit of love towards A. Again, once you have the down low covered here on Vault, you've got the choice between both bomb sites at great pace. Vegas Falcons are going to let this plant go down, and it's going to be a 4v4 retake, lads. Good luck, have fun. One angle from Mook.
That's a lot of time spent before you start making moves. To whom, though, doesn't give you the first blood. So another man advantage retake with not a lot of time on the clock. Vegas, they live for the chaos.
They certainly do. And here comes Chaos, and his name is Dahum! Oh, lordy! Wahali, they're on the bomb and they're on the defuse. Can Shotzi do something unbelievable? There's the first. Oh my word! 10 seconds. Map point, Vegas Falcons.
And Dr. Dahum out here in the mix. Good Lord. And like, that was an ISO play too. He was the only guy working the flank, finds a pick, goes back through the middle of the map, and just gives you 2. So Falcons, I mean, maybe the individual prowess is going to be the difference maker for that pop-off potential. Every round they are in seems to be just so intense, but these guys live for it. They deliver.
Dr. Dahum sweeps in for the 3. It would have been a fantastic 4 indeed, but he wasn't necessarily there for it. They hopped the defuse as well. Everything working out there for the Falcons. What a retake, folks. They let that bomb site go early, and they made Optic pay. Map point, an attacking round for them. Can they close it out?
I mean, possibly, man. These guys are playing with passion as well. They're trying to bring the heat, bringing the car explosions, and Wixel, well, he's not going to bring anything with his life. He's going to fall, and if you're Falcons, maybe an opportunity to hunt someone else on the other side of the map. There goes Dashy, and you can get this bomb down, so you lose the first blood battle. But unfortunately, no one's here to help their boy on site, so Exnid almost assuredly going to die, or World Star Shotzi.
World Star Shotzi, unbelievable, 2v2. Hook now dancing. The battle down low by the bomb site could get very explosive. Roxas with the win! And that is the Falcons. They bring down Optic in the search and destroy. They start the series 1-1, and what a pop-off.
How about that, dude? The passion flowing, the play calls on point, and these guys are getting active on the map. Difficult to play against, and Optic do just look a little bit stunned. Have to figure out how they just got taken a task on Vault, because things were looking good for a minute, but a collapse towards the end. We have ourselves a tied-up series. Even battle so far in the CDL.
Yeah, don't worry about those stats, folks. That does not reflect anything that happened in this game of 10 minutes of exciting Call of Duty. 6-4, you weren't too far off the scoreline there, brother. And now for something completely different, folks. Hacienda Control, a map and mode that gets religiously vetoed in ranked play. Let's see if it happens here today. Well, this is going to be interesting. Again, I don't think we've had a tremendous amount of success when it comes to the Falcons' chance on the map and mode, but hey, we all get to see something new today, folks.
And the fact that it's Hacienda is going to be interesting because you have a lot of opportunities to create a bunch of different looks. So I think this might be 2 teams bringing in very different ideas. It's just going to be a battle to see what works.
Spicy, spicy series, boys and girls. I'm going to have to get myself a glass of milk while the desk breaks for this one down.
The guns are hot in Vegas. Well done, Falcons, as they tie up the score 1-1. But we're going to start all the way back at the beginning of this series. And name was, I wanted to get your thought. When you saw this matchup on paper, you're like, oh, we just saw this a week ago in the minor. How did you see this playing out?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought the map one could be close again because of just how hot the guns started on the side of Vegas Falcons in the last series that they played. And in this one, obviously, Optic get away with it, but you saw Dahum so much more comfortable throughout this one. Map number 1 puts up a ton of damage. And then in that search and destroy, which I can't wait to get to, they look damn good.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this series. And Allie, you were saying it in the green room. The intensity is there for the Falcons. You can see it in their cameras. How was Optic playing in game 1?
Optic was playing great in game number 1, and what I was so impressed about in game 1 was the fact that it was the hoop show, and that's what we saw versus Carolina as well. When they took that map number 1 off of them during the minor, it's because Hoop was just having his way in the respawn. Unfortunately, that did not translate over to Search and Destroy, but for the sake of Hardpoint and Optic Texas fans, this is looking really good for your SMG duo.
And I think he was watching the pre-show. He heard your comment about Pred being that guy who could take over. It's like, watch this, hold my beer.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Hook gets going. He was going nuts. I mean, I think he was like plus 28, 34, 15. The guy was going insane. And you could tell Optic put more priority on the P2s. That was what cost them last time they played Falcons on this map. Was like just Falcons were very good at setting up on P2, which ultimately in the end, like Falcons could have come back if they were able to break, but Optic just so much more priority there. They're able to take it. But yes, if Hook's putting up performances like that, then they can be the Optic that we know in Hardpoint from last year that won a world chip.
There's the new faces, Dahum and Wixel for the Falcons, and you saw it towards the end there. Dahum pulls out the cruise. The man earns himself a streak, so the gunny starts to heat up. What happens in game number 2, Alley Cat?
Well, game number 2, it was the Dahum show, right? I mean, 11 non-traded kills across the board and 3 floods. And what's so important about that is in map number 2, when you talk about Search and Destroy and Optic Texas, they need those opening duels. That is where they find 90% of their success. They're one of the best converting teams if they do get that first blood. And Falcons clearly did their VOD review and went up against that.
And we have a 2-0 start for Optic.
Yeah.
And it's 4 straight rounds from Falcons. How do they battle back?
Yeah, I mean, dude, truly, like, awesome gameplay from them. Great adjustments to the surge play. This is the first time we've seen them play Vault. We saw some rounds on offense that, you know, they get the bomb down at B. And, you know, Rox is sitting in the building, and me and Joe were looking at him like, dude, he's not really doing much right now. But honestly, it's not a bad play because you know Shotzi's going to be trying to make a play in your base. So just like playing patient and like not getting picked, one thing is huge. And then they had some awesome retakes. Like late in this game, like they get bombed, or Optic gets bombed down low, and then Falcons just kind of just all pinched from different directions and find their kills, playing off each other. Just something that they weren't doing. And then the ability to just actually close out a game when we get into these final rounds, like take your time and let Optic make the mistake. It's what we've been waiting for Falcons.
I think you've made a really good point there about the fact that their patience, I think, has been kind of setting them apart in these search and destroys, where usually we're watching people second guess themselves, constantly on the move, constantly watching different angles, where Falcons, they'll just kind of sit back and hold an angle for a hot minute and try to play the timing, and they did that incredibly well in the map number 2.
You know what this means to the Falcons? They've been watching North American COD. They've played in Challengers. Now they get their chance to play the most popular team, and they get a map win in Search. Looking forward, can they take a control hardpoint or eventually game 5?
We've seen them come close, but it's about how they finish, man.
Nameless?
I mean, we've seen their skyline come down to early on. Remember, it was a map that they kept on playing. This is a new roster, and I'll harp on the point once again. Dahum looks way more comfortable in this series. So if you start getting some big moments from XNID, yes, they can take another map for sure.
For me, it all comes down to, are the players still jacked up? Is it still up here, or did you now crash? Miles and Chance, let's find out.
Nothing has gone down. It's all still up. We're all still very, very much ready for this. And again, we're ready for a bit of Hacienda control. Chance, I actually have no idea where the zones are because no one ever lets me play it in ranked. And I wasn't going to go into a private match and figure that out myself. I'm not going to do it.
Well, it's a good thing you have me then, Miles. I know exactly where the zones are, and they're fun to set up. It's one of the weird ones where, like, the B zone might be easier to capture, even though it's a lot further away, because A can be a blender. But we did get to see LAG and C9 play it in the previous series, and it was a ton of fun as well. I would say with how, like, spawn trappy the map can be, it's those moments where everybody's actually out and about on the map. The teamwork has to be perfect. So that's why I think it's going to be a really fun look between these two teams of how much can the individual prowess, the pop-off potential of the Falcons. Is XNID, the 50-bomb guy, going to go crazy? Is Dahum going to be Dahim for the map 3? Or Optic be able to contain these players? It's cheesy, but we do it. We got the chef's kiss.
We've got plenty of chef's kiss. And a possible chef's kiss moment here because, again, not that much Hacienda data for either team. So this could be a fantastic opportunity for the Falcons to steal a big victory away from Optic Texas. Same thing on the other side. You know, Optic Texas are always well rehearsed. They're very, very well versed on all the maps and modes we play here in the COD League. A professional team through and through. And yeah, we've got a bit of a mismatch here when it comes to the Vegas Falcons, Chance. In the attack, it's the best team in the game and the worst team on attacking rounds.
Of course, though, these stats are overwhelmingly vault control, so Hasi will be a different look, but if you have a 1-in-9 record on attacks for a vault, well, that means the coordination in these moments where you're forced to hop on the objective in a certain way can be a little bit difficult to orchestrate, and I think Hacienda will be even more difficult on the attack than Vault is, so potentially bad signs there, but maybe Vegas will be hopeful for it. Because again, even on the offensive end on Hasi, you just run like past 10 and you just constantly spawn them out like towards Vault or Def Spawn, and you can spawn kill relentlessly. So creating the moments is what you're going to be gunning for. But obviously the records tell a pretty distinct story.
Well, this story is being written as we run it. This is going to be a big one here again for the Falcons. Optic to take the lead in the series as well. To Hacienda we descend for a game of control, folks. Of course, the A zone smack bang in the middle of the map. B out there by tin. Looks like we're absolutely sending it.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going all the way around? We might be. I don't hate it.
I mean, well, it's like the least important part of the map in the sense that Optic off the rip didn't even bother to send anyone that direction at all because you just hit the one lane where there's no zones. But now you've done a full lap. It took you 30 seconds to get here, but you made it to the B zone.
You're in, and now you got to pinch. It was one side of it. Yeah, trades are there. Roxas got to go grande. Cannot do it. Dashi finds his, and the second for Big Bruce. Zone safe for now. Dahum on the way up from spawn. hey, if it works out,
Gotta
great.
love the
If it doesn't,
candy,
tough.
man.
You got a couple more lives to throw. You got just under a minute.
Yeah, just that whole 30 seconds thing to hop on the objective is not ideal. Even for C9 and LAG, what we saw, a lot of opening breaks where just nobody watches the rock section of the map at all, because yeah, you don't entirely need to, but now Dahum has made it to the zone. He's got Roxas here as his backup and wins the first gunfight. So the entry you were looking for, Dahum just needs a little bit of help though. And Hook's gonna fall, but in the meantime, so does he. We got a square up by the B zone.
B zone is still going, man. It has not stopped. The smoke has barely cleared the air. Nothing but frags over there. And a lot of work here being done by the Optic boys. Kenny, 2 on the outside. That is humongous. Dashi now pressing forward. The A zone not getting any love whatsoever. 20 seconds to go.
And good reads on the corner, I suppose. So there's the first 2 kills you were looking for. Dahum, even with the movement, able to get out with his life. So if you're the Falcons, you know at least Hook is going to be behind you. But then, of course, off spawn, you get caught trying to take a route, but you win the gunfights on the front. 12 seconds left on the clock. Falcons have made it to the zone.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work there with the damage into Dahum as well. Now the first segment cleaned up. Nades from Shotzi unfortunately cleaned him up. And now Dahum, he and Exnid lay prone behind the safety of the trophy, and a big win out of Exnid. Second segment done. No, wait.
I was about to say by himself though, and his teammate does win the gunfight up top. Plateau Exnid just wants to buy a little bit of time for Roxas to help him out, and at least Roxas covers it, so now you know where you need to look on time. And Exnid reads the outer route, but he does get traded. Optic want them off this zone. Still a battle, 5 seconds to go.
Dahum sends it. No time. Doesn't hit the go button. Hungry for the push, hungry for the kill, and Optic off the point find themselves the time.
Yeah, and just one of those moments where Kenny's looking at it, he's like, you got the kill in 10. Why aren't you challenging? You're just a little bit behind on sort of making those heads-up plays. And, I mean, frankly, with all how things worked out, there's 5 seconds left on the clock towards the end. If they just didn't take that opening break, maybe could have had a little bit more time to work with, because when they were just battling through the front, they put up a good fight. That is for the opening breaks to be discussed later. Optic get their attempt at offense.
Well, the B zone got a lot of love there. 2 segments that will come with us into the sort of end of this map. Clear out the top side of dark, nobody home, so now we're going to make our way over towards the zone. Optic prowling the corridors. Shotzi brought down by Wixel, all 4 dead.
And all 4 dead is the golden situation. Everybody sprint up, get control, trap him in their spawn. Exnid, he's found his credit spot. He's good for 1, does get traded out, but he gets all that information. Optic flooding through towards the B side. Dahum's here for the trap. You get number 5, Wixel covering the right side as well. So this is the setup you're looking for, and that is 40 seconds burned off the game clock. Optic, no progress made.
Yeah, given the A zone, you know, a wide berth, a dirty stick, if you will. No one's going for it. Easy way to stop the clock, easy way to buy some attention here. And Dahum cleaned up off the point, shots you with a slow cap now. He's got Hook covering him here. I was going to say, get on the point, mate. Dive on in. Coverage there. No, not going to last much longer. Shots from Shotzi. First segment done.
Yeah, no trophies though by the looks of it, so he needs his teammates to come and help him out, and Kenny is there. Fantastic free fire to do some damage, and Shotzi, here's the one-shot call out, and he pounces him, Kenny, and Hook. Nice little trifecta of teamwork in that moment. You keep the pressure up, you let Shotzi continue to fry. There's a 5 spree, and there should be the B zone with it.
Maybe. We've still got Dahum now trying to make the last-ditch attempt. Red, dead, dealt with. B zone in the bag. Hook's in your spawn. Because why not, boys and girls? Now we finally go to the A zone. Kenny finding his kills. A minute 30 to play in a slight
I didn't know
lead
you
for the
could
Lions
climb
of
that.
Optic.
Yeah, and Optic just want to clear out Wixel, and then they'll be good to go. But Wixel leaves his mark on one side of the map, and Shotzi falls on the other. But it's a Hook on one side of the base, it's Wixel on the other. It is spawn kills central. Which team is going to be the first to get out? And I think Optic are going to get it. Falcons have given up a ton of map pressure. And in the meantime, guys like Dashi trying to capitalize.
I'll capitalize with a capital letter. Over the top, Kenny, last man, a minute to go. Only 2 lives separating our teams. Map presence now being felt by the Falcons, pushing out towards Rockside. They've got themselves out by the archway either as well. Shots from Hook. As now you've got yourselves a little bit of a space to work with.
And if you're trying to learn how to play this map, if that A zone is any indication, if Hook's pulling out an aims off spawn, prepare for the range gunfights in the hallway. And it looks like Falcons came prepared, 3 down in the feed. It is only a Kenny behind you. And Exnid, his credit corners have been on point. He was ready for that flank.
Oh, wow. The whom intel
Blank.
is making the way out through vines now over towards that B side of the map. Exnid still in his credit. Lets Kenny get by. Roxas from down low now with a little bit of attention. 15 seconds to go. Somebody has got to get on this and stop the clock. Kenny will be the man to do so. Trade's now nearly done. Are they able to catch any more players out? It's a guessing game. If you guess it, you lose it.
It's still Exnid though. That's the last man standing. He has been over by that flat corner for the longest time, but I guess keeps his life long enough just to get Optic off the zone, and that is gonna do it. Last ditch effort, shut down. Back-to-back defensive wins. Falcons are on the board.
Yeah, it's a tough map. It's not an easy map to play control on. We also don't have a lot of reps on it either way, so Falcons.
He's right. That's why it's always getting vetoed.
Frustration there from Dash in the top right. But the Falcons certainly having their way with them in the defensive round. Still a swear. Ooh, watch out to him. Swapping sides once more. Again, I've got no real idea the way this is going to go down. All the usuals are out the window. Again, for the Falcons, man, this is just a brilliant opportunity to steal a big map away from Optic.
I do not like when players are facing right. That to me looks like a Lambo hit. Nahum and Exnid, 2 SMG players working the outer lane. Wixel and Roxas, the AR is going up top. They want to capitalize and get this all controlled. Look who's here to meet them. SMG square up towards the middle of the map. It is going to be a trade fest. Who comes out last man standing? Exnid. That is the 3 spree. That is pressure now for the Falcons.
He's got eyes on nearly everyone coming out of spawn. He could have caught those players coming through the boathouse. Dashi dips out. You're getting worried about the stun checks here. The boys are all going to go towards B on the attack. Hook's ankle spotted out. To whom? A deep nade. Keeping Optic on their side of the map for a long time.
This is just a standoff battle. Exnid trying to keep everything contained, but ends up one shot, doesn't get traded out, wins the big one. His spree stays alive, and now you snap into position, go for the spawn kills, everybody else get to the zone.
Caught Hook, he had to push him back. The spawn trap is certainly here. Couple of players spotted out going left-hand side. Damage dealt. Exnid dancing, grooving, gunning. Hook down, 3 dead again.
He's roaring too. That's a lot of pumps, but that's because he's moving towards the spawn. Maybe an overheat of a moment, but you will take it and then some. You at least get that B zone. And you got a 6 life advantage as well. Falcons, they're bringing the heat.
Yeah, Dahum starting to heat up as well upstairs now, trying to get that lock back in. You had Optic pinned on their side of the map. No one was getting out. Falcons forward. Dahum, what a slide. Dashi eviscerated.
Oh, dude.
Falcons. And now they've got a lot of position to work with.
And that Lambo spawn just gets opened as well. So 3 players from Falcons, but you have Shotzi. He's cutting off basically 90% of the map in the spot he just played. And, well, the things that are open are more towards the hallways, more towards mid. So Shotzi just comes to his teammates. This is exactly where you need to look. And you can tell with the concussions, they know what the situation is. Optic staying ahead of the game.
Well ahead of the game now. It's coming up on being ahead of the kills slowly but surely. 1 minute 10 to go. No one has been able to make their way towards the A zone. Not a stack, not a single step. Shotzi, nice work again, patrolling the hill. Exnid knows he needs to get out of time. He's not going to be able to get onto that point. Slow things down in a big way as Optic are 1 kill away from tying up the life lead.
And Shotzi's just reading these players, right? He knows that Exnid was the guy that was over towards the zone, but he plays up top because he is not the one that is forced to move. But once he gets an opportunity to move, he finds himself a little palm tree. And again, he can just feed information, spots a guy in secret, gets a kill, and he might get traded, but he just got info on 3 players. Optic can snap into position, and you're losing the gunfights, but you still got Hook and Dashi alive, keeping the play going.
Dashi will be the next line of defense. He knows the boys are on the zone. Now, process of elimination. Last corner. Easy reads. Bit of a team shot there as well. 25 seconds to go. Optic still finding kills all over the place. Who can't snap into that one? Wixel and the Falcons finding theirs wherever they go. Shotzi right back into lobby. Can he catch a few players? The dodge is the knife! can't get a second. Sensational moves in the final moments here, but you've got a man on A. Second segment done. No, wait.
Yeah, he wins the gunfight, though. He wins the gunfight just to keep the pressure up. That's what you're looking for. Basically no respawns remaining, but Exit is still here. Gunfights in front of them. Falcons give you 2. Falcons give you 3, and they give you the round. Optic were handling them on defense for a minute straight, and they jumped when they needed the most. Ferocity coming from the Falcons. These boys can fly.
In Arabic, I believe it is Anahua, which is Anahua. I think Exley just said in the player cam, these boys are turned. They are very excited, as they should be. They have a round advantage here and at map point on control.
And, you know, in Call of Duty, we sort of have the talking point always of like all these old players in the league, 28, you're ancient, you're a veteran at this point. It's not like players at that age really slow down. Their reaction time's the same. It's about the passion. And right now, age doesn't matter. If you have passion, you got something good going for you. And Falcons have that in spades. They don't have the opening kills to the break, though. Optic jump all over the hallways, working their way over towards both these zones. Falcons, a lot of problems to solve.
Good luck solving these problems. You caught at least one player out there, but Kenny is now just dancing through the kill feed. Nice work. He and Hook getting theirs. Exley trying to catch up these players on the capture at B. And he doesn't. And now we're doing laps. We'll let everyone go by. I mean, this is pure chaos. Hacienda is a weird one, man.
Oh, and he put his gun on single fire mode, and he still gets the kill.
I told
you Exit is built different.
He just single tapped his way through. Like, this is nuts, man. The whom? Here comes the Chow. You read it, but it didn't matter. Hook had the hit points. Now you've got a lot of presence on B. Second segment clearing up. We're going to get that capture done any minute now. Kenny's got himself a corner. Nice reads, though, from the Falcons. They're like, dude, we know the credit spots. We run them on this map. B-zone gone. Here we go.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference, though, right? That cruddy spot is just being played for, like, sort of containment. Doesn't matter if you die. You got 3 players on the zone and a 6-life lead. And Optic have been pretty consistent. They're not, like, going too heavy for the spawn traps, but they're constantly flooding AR players, like, out over towards office and try to handle, like, the outskirts of the map. So Optic are looking to funnel these players in. Meanwhile, Hook on a 5. You see what happens when you feed this guy some information. It's his happy place.
It's a little quiet for now because the Falcons have done their best to avoid him. They've got options when it comes to making their way out of spawn. Good timing, good shots, great stuff. Hook, the last man alive for his team at this moment in time. So Optic's attack, I mean, Hook is still on the run and he still has himself, a little bit of work towards the Hellstorm. But at this moment in time, just stay alive.
Yeah, this mini-map is hell, though. Awkward timings going on every section of the map. Shotzi and Roxas run past each other out towards fences. Hook continues just to dominate, though, towards the middle of the map. Don't have to get the hard reads when you snap like that, I suppose. And that is a 7 spree. He's got Shotzi on the zone, and that's 3 down in the feed. Now you spawn kill.
I mean, it took a long time. It took a while, but you've got yourself halfway through A now. Hook lets them all through. Time to pick up the pinch. Time to get those kills. His teammates are getting traded out on the zone. You've got 2 segments done. A contest. And there we go. Shotzi's 2 might have sealed the deal. This should be round 5 on its way. Last ditch attempt. Hook finds the kill. And that is going to be the round 5. Here we go.
You get the kill, you get the cruise, you get the round, you get the round 5. That is a lot of things going right from Hook. I'm assuming his comms were on point as well about all those players getting past, and I don't know if that was the intentional design to put a little bit more pressure on your teammates to deliver just so you can play for the cruise, but well executed in the end nonetheless. And you see Shotzi just hanging out in a corner. The dynamic between him and Hook has been a really fun thing to watch, as has this match. Round 5, cruise missile in their hands. Vegas Falcons continue to have problems to solve, but even when the pressure's been on, I mean, they've had some ice.
Will they have any more? A 9 spree from Hook. We'll see this continue, presumably. Nobody home there by Rock, so we're going over towards the A side of the map for the first time here, and an attacking round. Falcons trying something a little different, and it's not worked out so far. Kenny's opening kill, and Hook on a big old wrap. So we might be able to get ourselves in on towards this other side for a sec with Shotzi there. Takes care of the Hoom. Hook back at it on the prowl. We are roaming now towards the spawn of the Falcons.
And this is just trust, right? If his teammates like have everything, he knows he's just looking for the kills. That is number now 10 in a row, and a perfectly timed flank to be able to pick up 2. So that is Hook. Instead of being bloodthirsty and hunting down kills and chasing red dots, goes and makes just a heads up play, clears out the zone, and now look at the mini map from Optic. I mean, you know the pressure's over towards Rock. The ARs are posted in the back. I mean, Hook is just flooding everybody in through these hallways, and Shotzi gives you 2 before he falls. Hook looking to be here for the pickups, and his spree finally comes to an end.
It's good comms again out of the Falcons. They managed to identify those hits, and Hook's spree finally dealt with. Another corner. Another opportunity for a trade battle now, or will it be a trade? Yeah, Roxas gets it. Now it was the B side of the map. Hook's back off spawn, back in a position, dashing on the coverage here. No one should be able to get too close to B. This has been a great defensive round from Optic, and again, this is to take the lead in this series. Kenny and Dashi get their kills. Roxas now pinned and dealt with. Dashi's 2 might spell doom. The last hopes here for the Falcons as they fly forward into Shotzi. Here comes the wave, and he's dealt with them, holding them at bay. He doesn't need the kills because Hook's gonna find it with the Cruise. That's the map, that's the round, and that is the lead for Optic Texas.
Icing on the cake, man. Taking care of business, and that is on point. That is quite literally just like 2 good plays being made on the map from Optic, and you just get complete control, and things are easy from there. The Hook flank at the start of the round to clear out the B zone sets you up, and then breaking through a second time, and Kenny getting behind enemy lines and picking up 2 as well. Optic take care of business. It got a little bit mixy, but that might be the name of the game on Hacienda Control.
Yeah, and then you get to pump the brakes, you find a corner, and you turn it into a very slow map, and you really do burn the clock. Because you're seeing the spawns, the deepest spawns you can possibly have on the attacking team. To get to either one of those zones is such a nightmare. You have to secure B. You have to have some top presence. Otherwise, you cannot get near the A side of the map. So, lessons learned there, folks, for these Hacienda Control games. Hopefully, you can take some of that into ranked. And Falcons, maybe down a man here in the stat screen. Sorry, you're back. But they did a great job there to force that final few moments. Optic, great composure, a big win. And now to Skyline we go, folks. This is going to be a banger.
The most confusing thing about, well, let's talk about Skyline, I suppose, in a second. Just look at the highlights. And I mean, honestly, pretty good looks from both teams. Set up the spawn traps in a few different ways on the offensive and defensive ends. Obviously, a lot of different looks, even on just the opening break. So Hacienda, I think, is going to bring out a lot of different looks from a lot of different teams. But ultimately, on offense, you're just looking for those big moments. It can be so difficult to orchestrate those A-zone hits. Someone's going to have to make a miraculous play, but different players taking turns, able to lock it down. And I still can't get over that single tap fire kill. I hate when that happens. It's rare, but it
happens, man. And the other tap, 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 tap. There are certain weapons in COD history, especially in the last few games, that when you do put on single tap, they have a bit of increased damage. A lot of the DMRs do that. I wonder, is this some untapped meta that we've not really discussed or thought
Absolutely
about?
not. Definitely not. No, it was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake, but who knows, man? I'm trying to build a narrative. We're starting to have a conversation. We're all putting our single taps on for the final round of S&D for the goodies. All right, well, either way, folks, the final few moments of that map were absolutely explosive. Kudos again to Optic Texas for bringing the noise, getting those big comebacks, and now going into the Skyline hardpoint with the lead. Chance, everyone's pretty hot, right? Everyone's feeling very warmed up now. I think confidence is still pretty key for the Optic boys, but at this point in time, the Falcons, we get to test the resolve a little bit. You guys had a solid advantage, had a solid bit of work to be done after the huge win there in the S&D. Can you come to Skyline and actually find the dub, force the game 5?
Well, this is a super unknown quality for the Falcons team, because they've had one of the strangest things that I think we've seen this year. They were spamming Skyline hardpoint at the start, and they were running 3 ARs the entire time. King of Bood was stuck as a lone SMG on the fastest paced map we may have ever had in competitive Call of Duty history. So it doesn't make any sense. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe the other Falcons players, just all of them perma-run ARs, they just can't run SMGs, until I watch Xnid drop a 50 bomb with the Jackal, so they could do it. I don't know if they're going to make the adjustment on Skyline, but the fact that Xnid absolutely can run it without any issues, and you have 2 new players on the squad, to whom as well as Witch running an SMG, popping off from time to time. So I just think with the SMG prowess alone, Falcons are going to have better odds on this map.
Hey, let's run with it. That's a strong narrative, and that's a strong starting point to get ourselves into this one. I've just seen the updates for Season 2, by the way, folks. Disabling crossplay. Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. Hook and Shotzi, though, talking about the SMGs. This is how map 1 went for the boys, who, of course, did get the dub, but Hook was the man. 39 and 18, 4K damage. We'll see if he can keep that going on a very spicy map like Skyline.
Yeah, I think he had maybe 3 different 5 sprees, like plus and then some on the Vault Hardpoint. He goes on a 10 spree on the Hacienda Control. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a show, Hook is going to be the player in this series to watch. And it's sort of one of those series, you know, like if Falcons have a reputation of like being either a much more aggressive team or like they create these weird timings, it can be a bit more chaotic. That's Hook's bread and butter. That's what he lives for. He drops into the chaos at challengers and a week goes by and everybody goes, he might be the best player in the game. Like, this is the environment for him, and Skyline, the perfect map to breed this sort of thing as well. So gonna be fun indeed. Hook versus the world in the brand new SMGs of Falcons. Match that pace.
Again, it feels like the same situation we saw there on Hacienda, where what does Hook do? He just walks through the halls. He takes on these comers one by one, like some sort of John Wick character, just facing anyone, not missing a bullet. Same thing on a Skyline hardpoint, nearly impossible to do. We'll find out, folks. Strong search and destroy, strong game of control, and now another opportunity in a hard point. Where does our series go from here? Optic match point. Falcons to force the game 5.
And the true test of a good Skyline team, because obviously when things get mixy, you just have to handle it. But when you actually get these full setups on times, how much can you actually milk out of it? Because that's a beautiful start. There's Exit with the Jackal in hand, giving you 3. That's exactly what you need him for. And this is a dreamy situation as far as a P1 goes.
It's been the day of the Jackal and the morning of the Jackal. The first life here from Exnid has been sensational. It's
Damn.
Full hardpoint control. They're not going to be able to account for Shotzi on the Raptor. That's going to get them off the time for now, and again, Exnid staying alive very well. 5-0. Give his boys a lot of time off the opening break.
Now we sort of vibe back for position again. You got the Falcons players spawning on the left side of the map. So obviously the attempt to set up towards P2. Hook is going to be waiting in the wings, and good lord, that's a gunfight.
6-1. P2 soon to be open for business. And that's another one from Shotzi. Good work. Backside now a little safer. Is he doing the route? Yeah, he is. He's gone all over the place. Difficult to deal with, difficult to contend with. And to whom? Can you find at least one here on the opener? The answer is no. Shotzi with another great kill. 4 now in a row on this hard point.
Yeah, shout out to Shotzi for literally doing that himself, winning his team the break. You got to keep the pressure up, though, because Exnid, maybe the heavyweight battle we're having between these two players, trying to keep things alive. The pressure through the front, though, Shotzi gonna read it. There's a 7 spree. Now the front man, he'll bait for you, too, if you need. Shotzi, he'll do it all.
He's doing the time as well. Whoa, he was a bullet away. Exnid's 2-piece now as the Falcons have overwhelmed the hard point. Better late than never with 20 seconds left to add here. Exnid now on the route. We are doing laps around Skyline, folks. More time here, still to be played for. This clock has been stopped at 4:20, and it will most likely not be coming down to the game clock in this map. Multi-kills all over the place. New hard point in kitchen. Optic there.
Exnid, I mean, it's super early on. If this dude just keeps the same pace, which I expect him to do, he might break his own kill record. 13 kills for 2 hills is absurd, and this dude is obviously playing with all the confidence in the world. It's a long-awaited pinch. Does he time it out with his teammates? Maybe well enough, and there's the final one to roll through. So a little bit of pressure here for the Falcons, but they're working through the front. It is still a difficult situation.
Wixel, what a kill from Dashi up close with he and Kenny. Break the hard point together. 35 seconds left on this one. Roxas off spawn. Can't get a single thing going, and Kenny, he's taking a route to pick these players up off of spawn. Exnid will be up next.
Oh, look at those.
Green for Optic Texas. Pressure towards the new hard point as well, and Dashi's finding the kills.
Oh, this is a nightmare of a mini-map, and I think Vegas should come out on top. There you go. You got 3 players in the back, and to whom gives you the 2 kills. So I think Kenny maybe ended up on the wrong side of the map, blocking spawns when he didn't want to, but something slipped through. But these are the Skyline moments I'm talking about. When you get a full setup around P4, how much time can you milk out of it? You are down by 14. Can you deliver?
Wixel, tremendous pressure and exceptional shots from Dashi to pick him off the back patio there. So now you go right into it. Hook's looking for an angle, looking for a route here. You've still got a nice bit of kills there. And then what a coverage from Wixel across the map. He's got himself the top catwalk. Dashing out forward. Can he peel the hoop? No, he can't. He gets washed from the bathtub. 40 seconds to go here, and nice work from Shotzzy. You get him off the time for a second. Counter-attack opportunity here, and the minimap is absolute pandemonium. It's white and green all over the place. Hook snipes his way through. Dahoom up next. Might be able to get one. There's no way he gets two. As Hook's there for the point, Optic with a break.
And that's what an interesting hill as well, because it sort of starts off with Wixel, the most important guy in that power position, like losing the spawns for his squad. They battle back for a brief moment, but it's Optic who end up coming out from this hill effectively even, which means they're victorious. You take the opportunity towards P4, Falcons go into it down by 13, and that same difference in the score is still there. And I mean, even on a rotation, it's Hook here first.
Roxas, he and Exner now trying to make entry towards the hard point. You can see from the sky view there's a lot of space here in this hard point, but that's a clean 4 down from Optic Texas. See where the white arrows were there from the Falcons trying to get a cheeky contest. Shotzzy says, no thanks, lads. Instant kill, instant nade over towards the top AC hop. As Dashy and P2 now doing what he can hold on this side of the map. It's only him as he battles the world.
For sure. Tough spawns to read as well, but this is a good look at what an AR player has to do when you're losing the gunfight. You care so much more about the spawns. You got to stay alive, but eventually it is just overwhelming. Too many Falcons players near the zone, and we'll see how long they last for. Exnid continues his prowess. He's got 18 so far, and Falcons maybe lose out on a little bit of P1 scrap time, but 3 players set up in and around P2. Another opportunity to get some big points.
Beautiful work, Shotzzy from the zip straight into the feed. Nice shots there from the hip. Is he going to go for the second? No, easy reads. Seeing his boys. Oh, absolutely turn. Tries to shoot his teammates in the back. I've done that many, many times. Shotzzy. Easy read on a Wixel. Now trying to catch these players out towards New as well. But oh my word, the timing. He versus Exnid. An easy one. Beautiful stuff there from Optic Texas. Still holding on. Vegas Falcons now. Duolingo at the ready, folks. Let's go for a listening.
كتش صام كتشن واحد قدم يمين واحد قدم يلا يا عيال بحترك يلا واحد فوق للحين صام الفوق داشي صام الفوق شوف حلوه الغدره حلو باقيين كيتشن تعالوا كيتشن 3 يلا كيتشن يلا باقي داش كيتشن يا عيال لا تطلعون
قدام زين تعال قدام
انا بس بترسنت في واحد غدره في واحد الغدره اي جراح
نايس.
انا اشوف يمين انا اشوف يمين ها داش يمين واحد يسار بروح من النص يا عيال هدي فك النص فك النص انا هدي يمين لا هدي يمين باقي النص شال خوي عندي بيان وجهت واحد تسل انا اشوف بيان وراك
جسر ثاني جسر بيانو ماسكين حدين
اي فوق
وان شوت يمين
ما اشوف البار في واحد بيانو لازم نطلع يسار في واحد بي 1 الظهر يا عيال
فوق تعال يلا تعال
في واحد بي 1 بيانو مدمر
Not a word, but I did hear a lot of mid, and I did hear a lot of gym. So some English now creeping into the Falcons vocabulary when it comes to COD callouts, folks. I'm seeing a lot of pumps, Chance. A lot of pumps.
Yeah, listen, man, I'm worried Sid might have opened up a old can of worms, as it were, but not my job to figure that one out. My job is to call the game, and Optic making my job very easy. 80-point lead. They have dominated P3. They have dominated this rotation, and the P4 hold thus far has been perfect. Dahoom looking to be the entry man. You slide into death. Your boy's not quite there for the trades. Or maybe Roxas is. He gives you 2, so maybe a little bit of life, but a long way to go. Optic Texas just have a sizable lead.
A sizable 20 points, though, here. We're going to put the Falcons at 140 plus. This might be what you need. Shotzzy looking to slow down that hit. Oh, my goodness. From the hip, straight into the point. The next 10 could be great. No, it looks like the Falcons are still going to get that one. Hook over by the top side of the minimap. He's going to find himself a couple more kills. Nice work there with a stun. A two-piece he'll be happy to take. Doesn't pick up on the player in Gym. So again, absolute madness here on Skyline.
And Accident does get traded, so the one player that sort of slipped through does get cleaned up, and this is efficient work. Gotta say, for Shotzi, you gotta love when the concussions land perfectly at your feet, or at least in front of the feet of the enemy. Down low, he continues to dance. Falcons clear Optic mostly off the board, but Hook was the last one alive, and he gives you the first kill on the push, so Falcons still gonna have to fight just to keep things even. Desperation effort now on this people.
Dahum trying to do it alone, and he took a lot of AR rounds there from both Dashi and Kenny. Still plenty of time here to be had. Quick contest. Shotzi manages to get in and steal it from the very top side. Wixel there on the immediate trade. I mean, a moment like that, it's just panic. You have to deal with the man. He pulls the entire setup apart alone. All those white skulls now across the map as Skyline riddled with members of the Falcons. Optic setting themselves up for the win right here and now.
And this might end up being a scoreboard for the Falcons where all 4 players end up negative. So that just means you got taken to task. It was a hot start from Exnid, but Optic Texas, they ice them out in the respawns. Really indestructible in the hardpoint game mode. We saw in the 1 and 4 there from Optic and the Hacienda. Might have been Mixie. That final defense was as good as it is gonna get there from Optic. So maybe just talk over the Volta S&D, figure out the 1 or 2 rounds that didn't go well. How do they keep clutching when we're getting these bomb plants down? But other than that, efficient series coming out from Optic Texas. They continue to improve their record, add 10 extra CDL points to the pile. Maybe throw on some good stats as well. Shotzi and Dashi having an absolute field day there on Skyline.
They didn't really miss a beat again from that first map. That was Vault was something from Hoog at 26 and 15 there, 33 and 18 out of Shotzi. Some machine gun players there for Optic doing exactly what you would hope of them. Big Bruce had a nice game too at that 32 and 21, but glorious work there from Optic. Handle business as usual. This time though, a far closer hardpoint. Again, it feels like the staying power there from the Falcons boys ran out on the second set. Things were looking good and they just could not keep pace. A very, very clear differential there in our second set of hardpoints. Towards the end of third, just game flatlining a little bit. But there we go, folks. That's the series. Optic 10 more points. The Falcons, a lot of good looks there. And again, the S&D outside of that, nice stuff on the control. Hacienda, I mean, how many more Haciendas are we going to see in the season? I don't know, folks. You never know. You never know. I didn't think we were going to see that many Fortress controls in the MW2 season. And after a while, it basically became the only thing we played. Who knows, boys and girls? You know who does know? The desk.
I definitely know. Definitely know.
Definitely don't know.
Wow, that series way closer than we expected at the start. Optic showing though why they were the favorite towards the end. Allie, where do you want to start?
There's just so many places to start. I guess we should start congratulating Optic for winning this series. It was expected. They pulled it out. The S&D was a little bit rough, and the control got a little scary, but the respawn saved them in the end.
All right, Nameless, let's talk about why that control was tight, because we saw some strong slaying from the Falcons today. I think that's one of my takeaways, at least from this guy, Exnid.
Yeah, we saw, and Exnid made a huge play on their offensive round win. That was kind of a shocker. You know, he gets through. It looked like Optic had map control shots. He had just finished wreaking havoc in their base, and he gets onto the point, and they end up clutching up that round. I thought for a moment there, like, we were going to be seeing a Game 5 Falcons and Optic series, but, you know, they end up closing it out in the control, and then we get to this hardpoint Skyline, where we've seen a decent amount of reps of the Vegas organization, not this exact roster, and, you know, it was pretty neck and neck, as you can see right here. Like, it got pretty close, and there's just a P2 to P3 rotation at the end that, like, Falcons just kind of blew. That's, like, where you can snowball a bunch of points, and that's kind of what Optic did. They were able to blow the game open right here, as you're seeing on your screen, get a good setup, and the Falcons just never able to regroup. You have to, like, there's so many small situations in those fights where it's like, okay, we got to wrap, we got to get hot tub, and then we have to flip this once and then break, right? So there's a lot of steps, small moves that need to be made, and it just wasn't happening for them, not able to coordinate on this Skyline. But definitely some strides and progress made from Falcons in the series.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I like Skyline for Falcons because they play very fundamentally sound on hardpoint. Their biggest disparity is usually in the slaying department. Up against a team like Optic Texas, though, they can't really allow it into a series because even if you're fundamental and your foundation is there, if you have only one player slaying, even if that cancels out Shotzi, you're worrying about Hook, Dashi, Kenny. So maybe next time omit Skyline Hardpoint from series against top teams like this.
Looking stronger, but it's still Optic's game. They take this one 3-1. They also take home our Scuff Play of the Game honors. It belongs to the one and only Hook. Pred's replacement coming in game one. He made his impact felt. Look at this 8-1 start.
And my biggest thing right now for Hook is I just hope this continues. We saw it in the Carolina series. Unfortunately, they didn't win it over the weekend in the minor, but for him to come out in map number 1 once again, ball, which they got caught off guard last time they went up against Falcons, and to go 21-6 at some point, this spells great things, because if he can keep up this consistency, we'll get back to seeing, okay, Optic might be A tier, S tier type team.
Yeah, these guys are insane together. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. When Hook is able to get that gun hot, he can go on pretty crazy streaks. And, you know, this is like that SMG duo, man. They're going to wreak havoc on you, Chris, like when they get loose.
That is the old Dallas Empire duo of Hook and Shotzi. We just saw some news from our dude Hastro, one of the OG competitors. He just bought back the Dallas Empire brand. Maybe we'll see that coming back into the COD universe.
Shout out Big Stro, EOD.
Big shout out to Big Stro and a big shout out to our winner circle once again. Welcome the young man who doesn't ever turn off the camera. The one and only Dashy. You guys have been streaming some scrims. You've been front and center, all kinds of content recently. And a lot of people were talking a lot of smack after the minor. Do you feel you were favorites to win that tournament?
I mean, I'm never going to bet against ourselves. So definitely went in it with the intention of winning it. But it happens, you know, it's you win some, you lose some. And weren't the better team that day. So you just got to tip your hat to the Ravens and you know, they lost the phase. Never mind. Tip your hats to phase. But I'm improving it every day.
Fair enough, Dashy. Congratulations on the win. I kind of just want to pick your brain right now about search and destroy and kind of, you guys, I feel like I've been on either extreme ends. You're either doing really well or you're really struggling and having a slow start. Have you guys pinpointed kind of where the struggles in search are right now? And if you can give us any insight?
Honestly, like the way Vegas was playing was very interesting. So just give them credit for I guess their game plan, but so we're working on every game one, not just S&D, and it's a working process, so got to get back to the lab.
Brandon, Dashy, for you, it seems like you've been having to like slay a little bit more with this roster. How's that been? Obviously losing Pred, bringing in Hook. Hook has a crazy performance in this one, but in some of the other series, you've been taking over in the kill department. How's that been for you?
I think it's just Treyarch, you know what I mean? These type of games just suit my playstyle, and I guess with our team, our composition, I guess, but I guess I have to slay, but I'm just down to do whatever it takes to win. I mean, today I had day off, Kyler. It was a nuke series, so the kid was just soaking and just collecting.
Kid was doing damage. I wanted to ask you, Dashy, we announced recently on Twitter that tickets were going on sale for Major number 2. What is it like playing in Texas in front of that home crowd?
Oh, it's insane. It's the one event every year I look forward to. Love the Green Wall. I mean, they're not just in Texas, they're universal. You know what I mean? It's global. They're everywhere. So can't wait for that event as well. I mean, obviously last year won champs there, so it's good.
And I heard that
hopefully it still smells like champagne. You know what I mean?
Oh, I like that.
I heard that you're giving out free test drives of the Porsche when we get over there for that event. If you get a ticket. So I'll be in line for that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I'll be at DFW. Pick me up, all right, bud?
All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
That's Batman. We're going to let him go. Dashy getting the job done for Optic. He continues to impress. Ridiculous stats entering this matchup. He was number 1 in a number of categories. We've got to give a big shout out to the Vegas community as well. Everyone supporting the Falcons. Much love. Firefights every night.
Oh, they're going to be doing 8s League now. It's going to be awesome. So you saw them announce it on their Twitter. Go over to the Vegas Falcons Twitter. Going to be doing an 8s League where they're putting up some money. That's going to be sick.
That's cool.
Yeah. To get the community back popping again, man. That's what all the narrative's been about. Streaming scrims, all that. Like, get some 8s going. Let's get it.
We're going back to the roots.
Yes.
Custom lobbies, baby. In the meantime, we've got one more match to go. Don't go anywhere. This is the CDL. When we return, the Rocker take on the Ultra. Round 2. Dig, dig.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Esports World Cup is an official partner of the Call of Duty League.
Alright,
just
I'm gonna
died to
see
it. It was
something.
awesome.
Oh no, Mamma Mia! Oh my God, Mamma Mia! Oh my God! Oh no!
Wow. You are him.
Oh, oh no!
How about you both? Yeah, perfect.
Can't win it on the point. Scrap and the boys get it done.
Back on the fucking desk, Clay. Back on the fucking desk. You're fucking dog shit, kid. How did
All right, hey, chat, watch this. All right, we gotta go play the game. Let's take a look at this bad.
Nice, I'm in the game. Yo, CDL 2024. Yo, this is fire. This is fire.
Oh.
This fire, yo, Pete. Hold up. CDL champ and the shit. Come on, huh? That shit clean, bro. This kind of clean. Yo, that's aura, bro. Come on, now.
I'm trying to chop my cut. Purpose up cut for shot top.
Oh, you can't travel this? Well, that's right there. At least let him know.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I think that this side.
Nade hit one a couple times and stunned mid cut.
What am I doing, bro?
One guy's a
Nade's mid cut.
One clean break, one set of kills there. Afro sneaks in and steals the victory.
We gotta find him. You got his smokes. If you're a little weak. Run the outside. He's running the outside. It's Eddie. To your right. Close. Let's go, baby! Come on! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Comes up with the backside of Palace wall, plus the delayed hit from Escriel. Oh my God, Gio, my God, is his hard point. Oh, Nero gets a double over the middle of the map. Has more. Oh, Nero, hello. How about the full team wipe from Nero?
All right, so it's saying 130. So it's saying 130. So we still got it. I believe this is the last game, I think. Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll stop the stream, and then we'll start over again. We'll start a new stream. So everybody just hang out with me. I will be right back. Like, I'm gonna end this stream because this is day one. And then we'll go to day two.
Welcome back, everybody. Toronto Ultra, host
There's
of the
my
first
boy.
major in Madrid, taking the stage as they take on Minnesota Rocker. We welcome you back. Alley Cat, Nameless. We saw this showdown 1 week ago. It was supposed to be Toronto clearly making it through the bracket. We were going to look really smart. Nameless called the upset.
Yeah.
And then he looked very, very intelligent after the half.
Yeah, I mean, I was worried, after the first two maps, right? Obviously, Toronto looked really, really good. And then we get to the control, and they look good once again. But they didn't call the streak in, and it was a grave mistake because they lose that map and then get reverse swept. Minnesota, we know how good they are in Game 5s. They're 4-1 in Game 5. It's been unbelievable for them so far this year.
Let's take a look at this Ultra squad and, of course, talk about their competitors here. Toronto, the Squirrels. Furious in previous titles. They lose Scrap, their star player. They bring in Joe Deceives. They bring in Beams. It's all paying dividends. They were one of our top 4 teams entering the minor. Where are they at right now in your power rankings?
They're still top 4 for me. It's just kind of like, it's one of those things that doesn't really make sense when they go up against Minnesota Rocker. Now, this is 2 times where they've fallen short. I mean, you're talking about Toronto Ultra team that was 6-0 in Search and Destroy heading into that series, and you're telling me they can't clutch up in the Game 5. So maybe it's a map, maybe it's Hacienda, maybe it's the way they match up against Minnesota Rocker. But for me, this is like a disappointment for Toronto Ultra to be falling short.
Top 4, huh? Maybe top 6. You got them top 4?
I think I saw them top 4.
All right, if not top 4, is it Minnesota in that position
What,
instead?
that's
Let's
crazy.
talk about the team that beat Toronto.
Sure, I don't have either one of these teams in my top 4 after what I saw in the minor tournament. Obviously, Minnesota goes far. I just feel like LA Thieves is still in there for me.
Yeah, no, LA Thieves still in there for me.
Carolina has to be in there,
Carolina has
and
to be
then
in there.
FaZe rounds out my top 4. But anyways, besides that, it's not a crazy take because they have been unbelievable in Search and Destroy, and same with Rocker. I think for Rocker though, their hardpoint is super underwhelming. One of the actual worst hardpoint teams that we have in the league right now. 4-10 in that game mode. It has to get better. And when you look at it, like they're 2-0 on Vault. Everywhere else, just like not great, but they're making up for it with their control. 5-2, and then obviously the Search and Destroy. So they're able to win that game 3 pretty convincingly each time. And when they do, like they're sneaking out both S&Ds and getting dubs.
They look sleepy. They always say they start slow and then find their mode. How do you feel about this team right now?
I don't feel good about that because I think if they went for for their future, they need to start hotter. They are like, what, 1-6 and map number 1's 2-6 or whatever. They've got to start the series hotter.
Let's take a look at our maps and modes for this showdown. Ding, ding, Protocol, Hacienda, Protocol, Vault, and guess it, Protocol, triple dose.
Yeah, I mean, Control has been like the bread and butter for Minnesota. Obviously, it's been a lot of Vault. Protocol, though, we have seen them when they went up against LA Thieves. They kind of blew it, could have potentially won that. But yeah, I mean, I think this can go the distance. These guys always go game 5. They just did in their last series.
Allie?
Yes.
Will you do us the honors of going first? Who do you have winning this?
You know what? I will go first. But not because of what you think, because I'm pretty sure every single time they've picked against Minnesota, they have won. And so I feel bad. I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to go with Toronto Ultra to win this series.
Going with Toby as well. I'm going to go Toronto Ultra. Nameless?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ultra this time. I think they close it out.
And the fans will also agree. 18-8. Not bad, fans. Maven and Merc, how do you see this playing out?
Well, we have a lot of the same maps. I said to you, I was saying, I bet the search has changed because they were both
Stand that,
blowouts.
dude.
Remember, like it was a 6-1 game 2. It was 6-3 game 5, and like they both look. One team looked lost on one team looked lost on the other, but all that changed was the order. It's still the same map. So I was surprised by that. Yeah, I thought that would change at least because what was it? It was like the Hacienda Ultra. It looked like they had no idea what they're doing, and then on Protocol, like Rocker were just lost.
Yeah,
But
we're going to play
back.
this. We got
All right.
reps. I mean, you played the same team, so maybe you feel better about it. This one is also a repeat. This is a 250 to 240, but kind of what the desk talked about, what Ant talks about, 4-10. Rocker, I mean, listen, I think there are a lot of people want to believe in this squad, right? All the game 5s, a good run that they had in the minor, but this has to improve.
I just still like. Their margin is like -23. Like, there's a lot of close games. Like they've had a ton of very, very close hardpoint losses. Some they've had some crazy comebacks. They've seen just about everything. We've cast a lot of their series. Joe, we're gonna have purple on purple action, which this one's not as confusing though.
I got this one.
Yeah, this one's a little more simple. We're ready to go. As we get right into the point, Beans trying to hit his shots, and we'll see who can strike first. As we played Protocol last time, this is the 250-240, yeah?
Yeah, yep, 10-point game in that game number 1, so very back and forth battle in that.
We'll see if that'll be the same case here. Ultra, such a hot start last time, but that changes a lot, right? If that map 1 doesn't go that way, maybe they don't get out to that kind of 2-0-2-0 edge they were able to do within that series. Maybe Rocker have got the ice to kind of clutch up and dictate the pace of this thing early on, but so far, it was so good for Ultra as they've got the time. As Joe Deceives trying to get nasty here mid-map, look over his teammate inside of the hard point.
Yeah, just controlling this P1. And, you know, one of the things with FaZe and winning the minor, they played a lot of Protocol, and one thing they were just so good at was finding a lot of time there at the P1. So a nice start there for Ultra. Trying to find that success, flip the spawns, control the middle of the map, force them to either have to take a long route towards that bottom side, or go to the middle of the map where you hopefully have Insight watching over that, but that'll open things up as Gio finds a nice 2-piece with the AR, able to connect, but you still have Kleenex and Beans near the point.
Beans drops. Got a 2-on-2 around the point. We saw over to Kleenex, who very weak inside, trying to get back to full health. Joe Deceives, though, lining him up as he takes down 2. Still only 6 points on the board for Rocker. But they're really setting up on the left side of the map, making sure they have spawns. This is where they want to start to answer back. You know, they've done some heavy rotating here to try and get set up, but you'd love to not give up this much clean time to Ultra. You'd like to have some success, at least in the contest part of things.
Not to be worried here, right? There's still 15 seconds left or so, now 10, and they're trying to flip the map is Ultra. As Kleenex gets active, and then you see 7 and 8 spawn out. So that's just not when you want to die. It's like, yeah, they did a great job, but now you see Bean spawns towards the back left. Maybe they're going to try to hunt him down. I don't think Paul's going to expect this. There's no way to, and there we go. Beans is going to find him. So now this gets interesting. This Minnesota Rocker still locking down the middle of the map, but those spawns are going to be deep for Rocker. Or are they? It'd be right next to
Okay, never mind. I think it's like right as he pushed up the left side steps, that spawn came in, so he's still going to get in the back. A little bit of a blessing there for Rocker. Because, you know, sometimes it takes one person in the back, 3 people hitting the front, and chaos ensues kind of from that point forward. It can be so difficult to deal with, but kind of get blessed with the timing of the spawn. You're still fighting inside. This is the exact answer they really needed to have here. It looked a little bit sketchy at first, but they've turned this into some great time. They only had 6 points on the board before they went into this. Gonna likely turn this into 30 or 40 seconds, but hold up. Maybe Joe Deceives can make the play. He does. Joe Deceives gets both and suddenly breaks up when I was breaking down.
Well, the best thing about this, right, he finds the multi-kill, gets the rest of the time, but this just allows a clean rotation. Yeah, his teammates are just hanging out, throwing some shoulders. You have trophies down already at the money hill. So not only is it pressure, it's also just allowing so much room for your teammates to work with.
Yeah, I thought he was getting 1. Somehow walked away with 3 during that little sequence. So big plays from Joe Deceives and sets up Toronto Ultra here. Now to lock it down. Joe Deceives leading the way with 12 kills in the lobby. But it's inside POV for now. I thought a nice snap for a second, but Nero had his number. They are able to drop him. It's a multi-kill from Nero, answered by a multi-kill from Beans. But as the last person stands, it's going to be Gio inside. So you've got a presence here quickly. And then Gio kills 3. He's on 4 in a row. So Gio wipes out the entire team. And you don't get a break here often at 4, but you get a break there.
No, it comes down to that 1 versus 1. And then Gio just ready for the next players from Ultra. And sometimes in this Rocker team, it just takes a play like this to get him going, to get them going. But Gio's going to need some help. He ends up on 6 in a row. Ultra get right back in.
No, you've said it many times. It seems like this team, with so many like kind of streaky players, one of them gets hot and then like the whole team like elevates with it. Just one moment they're all roaring, they really feed off each other well. Like the energy, the playmaking ability, whatever it is. But yeah, you nailed it. One big play, it's like, oh, here go Rocker.
Yeah, we'll see if the rest of the team can get going now as we head back towards P1, and that will be a 4 dead. Again, Gio with another double.
I said Joe Deceives was leading the way with 12. It's like 45 seconds later and Gio's on 19. Bro, guy takes over.
Certainly did it. Now you're starting to earn some of this time, starting to control the map a bit. You see Joe Deceives going to have to go a long route underground to try to flank all the way through. Kleenex is trying to get through the middle, but maybe now, like kind of like we talked about, Nero gets going, but it's Joe Deceives. The long route pays off.
Another big multi-kill from him. Only 15 seconds or so remaining here, but we'll see what amount of that time you can get. Well, you got the spawning out deep left, so you're in a good position for next. P1 and P2 is where Ultra were able to do so much damage the first rotation through. We'll see if they can do a bit more of that. His teammates are finding all the kills around him, making it easy for Joe Deceives. He takes his one-on-one towards the point. Now we focus on our next hard point. What are you seeing on the minimap, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, you got a nice setup here for Ultra. Joe trying to get the spawn kills. Tough gunfight, but quickly come Rocker as well. They're going to get right through the middle of the map, but some nice kills from Beans and Inside, maybe to slow things down. You get a bit of a split spawn here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kleenex is going to get a couple of freebies as well. Now there's just 2 players left for Rocker to lock this down.
Let's say, based on where Estriel spawned, they are not thinking he spawned back there whatsoever. You're still at least able to have a presence here. You're doing a good job fighting this around the point. Ultra still the team to pick up the time, trying to push over through mid. That'll be number 5. That'll be Paul X is trying to look for the plays on rotation. 2 people from Ultra did spawn up deep towards next. He's going to be a sea of players, that number 5 in Paul X. What will he be able to do on the other side? He's only going to get 1. We just hopped in for a second to see if he finds some kind of big playmaking ability, but as he gets dropped, really the next rotation looks like it's all gravy for Ultra right now.
And I thought Joe was actually in a spawn out there. I think they get a little bit lucky because Joe gets taken down and you had 3 players across the map from Rocker. I thought blocking the spawn, but he just spawned right on top of Beans. So then quickly there was a trade and nobody was spawning on the right side of the map. So maybe blessed a little bit right there in that situation, but they pay off. They win the rotation. They find the first 20 seconds.
Well, there's the time where they get a little bit freaky. It's this hard point. I feel like it just gets so crazy, but it's Ultra currently up 60. Joe Deceives leading the way at 23 and 16 for the time. Let's hear the comp from the Squirrels.
Yeah, Joe, come up, he's stiff, bro.
Nice one. Play together, play
Mid gun. He jumped down low.
I'm just on yeah? He's big guy in there.
And front guard. Take your time. Take.
The new Paul weak.
Unco is powerful. They're still gonna spawn grannies.
Telling me weak. Wait.
That's right.
I've got a drive. Two maps as well. The maps, I need it. Drove. I was the pin tree. Big door.
Just hit then.
Oh, big door got me. He's on comms, I'm on maps.
What's your file, bro?
I'm good, okay? Could be on mid gun, careful.
One could be low boat.
Yeah, one's push up left somewhere. Not mid gun.
Low dead.
I'm checking P2 for you guys.
I'm pitching maps.
Another P2. Jimmy.
Yeah, big door.
Back shot.
I'm one shot.
Watch out, big door.
Close right.
Backside. I'm just baiting him.
Middle.
Watch out, fire. The maps, good maps.
Close left when you slide in.
There's one back to us,
Okay, it's one of traps.
It's a play kind of.
Oh, he's MP1. How MP1? Paul.
I big door.
Pull the new boys. Good nade him.
It's like pulse.
I spawn trip. Give me 1 sec. Give me top trip.
Top trips and top grannies. I'm one shot. Other guy, he was off ult. He could pinch your grannies, bro.
I got time then.
I'm short P2, bro. I don't know where they're spawning.
Back on you guys.
Back grannies. One tower, boys. One going P2, bro. He's gonna jump down low or climb up broken.
I can get top trip. I'm a sub. I can't really shoot over you.
I can get your pinch, okay? I can full trip.
Top grannies. I'm top grannies. Top grannies there.
Grab me dead. Don't time me, one to grannies.
Top grannies.
I'm in top. Back alley, Paul. We come in.
Ultra, who had a chance, if they were able to break it forward, this game's probably done, right? Rocker getting a massive hold to keep themselves in this game. They've changed it into a P1 now. And honestly, during like that listening, things were going real well for Ultra. Like, I don't think they were frustrated. Like, the comms were on, but they didn't find much success.
No, I think that's it. Like, you had an early break at the P1. It looked like you were in a really good setup, and then Rocker just fought their way back in, and now we have a 30-point game. Sometimes this team, well, they very much just stay in all of them. So tough to put away this year has Minnesota Rocker been. But yeah, you're kind of right. It was like a couple of 1v1s at the end of that P4, and then like an early rotation of P1, but you kind of heard from Beans, like Paul's already there. A little bit caught off guard, but still, they built themselves up such a nice lead. Now it's backed up to 50. Looking like they're going to win this map.
I like the commies don't hear very often. He's like, man, I don't know where they're spawning. And then Beats like, hold up, they're spawning here, but they're kind of go back and forth. Beats don't hear that often. Like, I don't know where they're popping.
Yeah, maybe like Clay's just in a spot where he's like, you know what, they should be spawning out due to my spot.
Yeah. No, it's just kind of cool to hear them chat through stuff, but you just need 10 here for the win. Ultra looking to close it out now, but Pollux with a pick to get them out of it at least for a second. Pollux gets 2 to shut this down, so you got numbers here for now if you are a Rocker. And as Kleenex drops, that will be time over to Rocker. So they fight, they stay alive, but it's just how many times have they been in a hole where it's like, it's just a little too much to bring it back? Like, I feel like we've casted so many Rocker hard points where it's like, God, if they just didn't go down 100, if they didn't go down 80, they might have won.
No, I mean, that's really it. And then a couple of rotations maybe go their way. Just feels like they're late a lot of the times. And, you know, on these P3s, these P4s, happens here again. The ARs of Toronto Ultra are already there. They take down all 4. They win map 1.
And this time they improve on what the 250 to 240 win they had last time they played at the minor. And this is where maybe you get, well, I guess you don't get nervous in the sense, if you're Rocker, you already reverse sweep them. You feel like you can bring it back in anything. But like it puts a little pressure, I think, to win this map too, because we're going to Hacienda for 2 instead of 5 like last time. And that was the one Rocker won 6-3, right? Like they look really strong there. Like you need to win this one or you might be in for a world of hurt.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is going to be a bigger talking piece, like, down the line when we talk about the major, but, like, obviously you're 4-11 now in hardpoint. It's not going to be great, but just early in these series, man. Like, it just feels like, can you go up 1-0 if you are Minnesota? Just not always being in a tough spot.
No, because we, you know, it's a stat I haven't really thought about for a long time. It's something as a commentator I used to bring up a lot more back in the day. Like, I've been doing this a long time, but I used to always mention, like, typically, like, the win rate after winning a map 1, like, for a lot of teams, it was around like 90%, like overall for the league, like back at 85-90%, which is very, very good. So yeah, map 1s are important. They're not everything, but over the years, statistically, yeah, it's huge. And unless you're Rocker, you just don't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't care. I mean, all game 5s. It had all game 5s, you know, at the minor tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, throughout the years. So we didn't see that happen.
No, I didn't. I was about to say, when did he go for a dive?
I have no idea. He just missed.
I don't know. Maybe we were just chatting, looking at each other and not the game, because, yeah, I do not remember him taking a little dive. This was in Gia really starting to heat up. He ends up killing all 4 here, and this is a moment that really started to propel Rocker. But then it's like from here forward, you open up a big lead if you're Ultra. It's like these next couple of hard points is what could happen. And that triple from Joe Deceives maybe part of what got them in a groove.
And again, I thought like right prior to this, I thought Joe was going to spawn out, but he ends up spawning towards the back. And thought Minnesota maybe would have had a chance at that P3. But honestly, these P3s might have been the difference maker in the map. Just like how late Minnesota was, or when they were in position, they die at around 10 seconds left at that hill to give Ultra control.
It's like sometimes I get it in the sense I feel like you get, I don't know, sort of lulled into, like P3 is so scrappy most of the time, right? You sort of think like you don't have to like over-rotate or don't have to either, or like you're gonna be able to make it scrappy from the front. Like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of teams are able to do that, but like when you don't then, and suddenly you give up a full hold, like that just turned the game on its head completely. Like how often do we have, like spawns just get wacky then?
Yeah.
They do. Like one person gets through, one little play, and suddenly, you know, you're spawning closer, you're spawning in the back. It can be such a mess, but yeah, when it's not, then it's like, oh shit, we're down 80. Like what just happened? And maybe that's what they're thinking sometimes, like we don't have to, because the only one that rotated was like Paul X, right? He like tried to, but ended up with all 3 players there.
Yeah, and that's like you see like the second P3, that's where they grow their biggest lead, 184 to 105. Bit of a comeback there at the P4. But yeah, and then again, just kind of gets put away the back half of that game when they start to get on back. But again, yeah, well, outside of Geo, just a slow start from the other 3.
And you can see it there too, like every other point in that game, like, because even the break they got at P4, like every other hard point, you saw like the rocker bars at least going up. So what does that mean? Like they're at least splitting time. Whether they're getting the scrap time or something, they got nothing there. Like that, yeah, that was the one. Just they got nothing. And then that's that deficit again where it's like, oh, maybe they'll come back, but they're just in too much of a hole, and you can see where the hard point starts to struggle. It's like they can't, I don't know, there's always like one moment like that for them. I swear to God. There's always like one big comeback moment where they make a crazy play, and one where it's like, if you play that better, maybe you win the hard point.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, a lot of teams feel that way, probably.
That's true. That's true. That's kind of generic, I guess, to say anybody struggling in Hardpoint, I'm sure. But we get ready for the Search and Destroy now. And yeah, I mentioned it a couple times because we casted this last time for the minor, and I just like the 2. I thought they'd be different just because like how flat like one team looked on each map. Like we're going to Hacienda, and I thought after map 2, where they just got dominated. Like, you only put up 1 round if you're a rocker. I thought they were going to be in trouble. But, like, Hacienda, they just ran the map. Like, they just ran hallways, had complete control. Like, Ultra looked like they didn't know how to deal with it at all. And, like, their S&D has been very good. But, like, in that one, they kind of got beat up.
Yeah, no, they just had a different mindset, I think, than Rocker playing.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. Like,
yeah, just a different way to attack the map. And, well, speaking of their attack, yeah, they're 7-1 in Search and Destroy on the year. Well, a lot of that you just see they're leading the way post plants, rounds with plant percentages. They're working that objective heavily, but yeah, I mean, it's a new map added.
That's what I thought.
The rotation, you have a different mindset of how you're approaching it. In Rocker, they just played it differently.
That's kind of what I thought at the time. Like, maybe it's just a new map, and there haven't been that many reps because they look so much more structured on protocol. Like, they absolutely locked Rocker out. That, like, I was just surprised how it played out on Hacienda. But you're probably right. It's just haven't had that many reps. This is a team that really likes to have a way to play. Like, they have a structure to it. And we'll see if there's been improvements since then, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when they're playing around the objective so much, especially on their attack, I mean, this is a map where you really don't have to play the middle of the map if you don't want to. It's easy to avoid it, right? It's just like Rocker were the opposite. They played through hallways, through middle courtyard, and just kind of ran at you.
Absolutely. They just ran at them and took map control. And it just... They had no way to counter it, it felt like there is, but they just were surprised, like so often, just getting picked by the aggressive play of Rocker. So we'll see if they deal with it any differently. Maybe it's trying to take the fights head on.
Already a different look, yeah. I mean, it's 4 players right through. Cleanace is right to the middle of the map, but, well, Estro, he's going to recognize it. Estro somehow gets 2. So there you go. It was a different look. Ultra attacked it head on, but it doesn't matter.
Well, it's just 1 round, but we'll see if they continue to try and make change. But yeah, it wasn't like a spread the map thing. It's like we're gonna take the fight with you. Just the Estriel multi ends up being enough to tilt the tide towards Rocker. So far, so good through 1.
And when you also play, you know, a team on the map just a week ago, you're gonna try to counter their strats, right? Like, you just played each other. What were they doing?
Yep.
Going over that VOD prep.
Now we switch sides, and we didn't see a whole lot of action towards B. This time, right up to it, it's free. Retake heavy out of Rocker.
Yeah, just look at the map. There's nobody middle halls. There's nobody mid courtyard for Ultra. They're just taking the objective. They're going to play the 4v4 retake.
We'll see if the utility is going to hit for Rocker. That's going to be massive. What actually connects, what damage gets in. Looks like several nades used at the front door. Nobody home, so they avoid that. With no damage through, it's going to be so tough to break out, or is it? Estriel movement looks wild. He's at least able to get one. 2 for 2 thus far. Hopping off bomb and winning a fight is Narrow. Now down to Beans. He gets smoked. Narrow wins the last fight, and it's another round for Rocker.
Yeah, and I mean, Nero was on it about 75% and then hops off of it. Hits some great movement on the insight. And yeah, when you play that straight up, right, if you look at the minimap, you have insight pretty much in attacking spawn lobby watching the flank, right? Beans is, locking down garage, but still going to have to watch that doorway every now and then. And so what did Rocker do? They just kind of 2-hit from their side, 2-hit from Rock. The players on the objective get taken down, and then it's a little bit panic time. Your ARs have to run at the players near the bomb.
And we also just saw, like, the left side Rock player didn't get hit by anything. Like, I saw nades go off at the doorway, but I don't know if anything connected to people by bomb, like playing towards the objective. They might have got some damage in and sent it as well. Because they made that look, well, not easy. I mean, there's one player left, but it's not the easiest break.
That's what they've been doing. They're going right back to it. Whew.
Second person there to deal with Narrow.
Nice shots.
But second to deal with the other fight as well, as Geo takes it, clips the Wig of Insight. And suddenly it's Joe Deceives by his lonesome. Trying to clutch up in the 1 versus 2. Now down to a 1v1, him versus Geo. Geo gets bombed, 50 seconds remaining. He's going to wrap this over to A and just get this down. Or I thought he was for a second. Never mind, not yet.
I like this from Joe, just on both sides of him are doors, right? So instead of maybe giving an audio cue if he's playing above him, playing patiently, he has no info on where Geo is. He just is kind of waiting. And now Joe going to rotate out through the middle of the map. Geo has had a couple of chances to plant the bomb, going to find an SMG instead. And, well, this timing might be working out for Joe.
Looking that way. Spots him. Just a bullet in, though. He's got the heady to work with. Time's dwindling. Gotta take the gunfight. Tries to get to the heady on bomb. Not going to happen. He gets cut down. Joe Deceives. Clutches up in the 1v2. And a much-needed one for Ultra, because I thought we were right back to what happened last time they played. Like, they were just kind of getting run.
No, I mean, a very similar round. They just, 3-4 through open hall, trading out. I mean, you get some great shots out of Geo with the trade on the inside, and it comes down to that 1 versus 1. Well, a 2v1 for Joe, but able to clutch up 2 separate gunfights. And again, there were some chances there for Geo to plant that bomb, but maybe just worried timing-wise where Joe's going to be. Instead, Joe times it perfectly over towards that B site.
Yeah, I guess I thought when he had the info, he was at B last. I thought he just sprinted straight to get it down today. That's what I said. I thought he was just going to put it down, but then he kept going. I was like, all right, never mind. Like you said, probably was worried about the timing. Now he's probably wishing he just got it down. But he doesn't have the gift of Codcaster like we do. First blood for Paul X. Joe Deceives brings it back, though, as he's on 3 straight after the 1v2 clutch. Also brings it back into a 3 versus 3. Best of luck with that gunfight, CleanX. As Geo will back him down. We'll see if the nade will hit.
Hit the top of the fence. He almost blew himself up.
I didn't realize it hit the top of the fence.
No, hit the top of the fence, bounced back right at him.
I wonder why you were like, no.
No, it was not hitting. It was outside the map.
I didn't realize. Well, not the best nade there out of CleanX. He dips in for a little classical music, and now they'll see where they want to go from lobby. You got 1 player defensively over towards B. Other 2 kind of stacked up around A. Pressure on Ultra now to pick a plan of attack. They're going to have numbers wherever they opt to execute.
I mean, Paul's going to get pushed up a little bit, so he's going to peek the window, right? That's the biggest difference on this map, is that window being open. And, well, that allows Geo to peek 1. He's able to find it. There's the info. 2 versus 3 here for Rocker.
They get another one. All on Joe Deceives again. This time, no clutch opportunity. They're able to win it there. Get the defuse. And take a 3-1 edge now. But despite the fact he had, kind of a 3-on-2 there for a second, the opening pick goes the way of Rocker, and they play behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I love the play from Rocker, right? Leave Estriel just kind of on an island. The other 2 players just don't get picked, don't over-peek. And then Paul just maybe has a timing in his head of when do I want to check this bomb. And, again, with that window being open up top, he hasn't seen any top close, nothing top open hallways, just goes for a peek. And, well, that is the right timing because he sees him on the bomb or on the bomb site, allows Geo to get one on outer fences.
Oh, Beans, right? He picked. They're going to send it right towards A this time. You do take a lot of mid-map pressure if you are Ultra, so they'll have people and bodies here quick. Defensive aggression will often see out of the Rocker side. Rocker will get this bomb planted, so to a 4v4 we go. Nice shots from Beans. He gets the opener. A little revenge from the last round. Nero does follow it up and take him out nearly instantly, though, so we'll drop things into the 3 versus 3. Pretty spread right now if you are Rocker, at least around this bomb site. See if Paul's gonna get caught here in garage. 20 seconds to go, he will. I figured he might just spot the gun like sticking out. And then Estriel's like, screw this, I got the other side. Shuts down both. One player remaining in Kleenex and he will get dropped.
I mean, that is the second time. Round number 1, the same thing. Estriel's put into a spot and somehow turns it into a multi-kill. Right there, down in numbers. Once Paul goes down, but he's just able to read it and then finds the last one. Great couple of rounds for Estriel.
See it one more time. Yeah, I don't think the first player's shoulder has got any damage into him. So
all right,
he ends up with kind of a straight up one-on-one and tacks on the final kill. Monster.
Ultra 1.
Round, as you said. Ultra still not finding a lot of success on Hacienda. They lost to him 6-3 last time, or 3-6, however you want to look at it. It looks like it might be worse this time. We'll see. But Estriel, he's on 4 straight.
Okay, so that'll be it for me today. I'll be right back. I'm going to do one more for the day 2 that's coming up. Please hang out there. And if you do like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Twitch, please hit the follow button. I really appreciate all the love. And I will see y'all in a little bit. Thank you, buddy. Bye.